Three, two, one.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. Our vision and commitment to finding solutions keeps us connected to those who need it most, changing lives and creating opportunities with our groundbreaking work in education and literacy. There are more kids enrolled in school now than at any other point in human history, which is why supporting teachers is key. In classrooms, our innovative approach creates critical thinkers and big dreamers with the skills to achieve. Our global grants train teachers to use materials, new methods, and technology to inspire and energize students of all ages. We believe education has the power to lift families up, make real change, modify behavior, create healthy habits, and open minds. We believe that education creates security and safety in families so they can support, provide, and make informed, empowered decisions. Your contribution keeps students far and wide connected to a world of good. Every donation is an action that speaks volumes across classrooms, communities, and continents. Because the distance between an act of good and the lives it touches isn't as vast as you might imagine. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
Forward, 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 forward. High five, guys. Yeah, nice one.
Prayer. a very wonderful prayer from Reverend Father Naku. Yes.
Let us humble ourselves for the opening prayer. Lord God, as we begin the 95th District Conference and Assembly today, we ask that you guide and direct all our programs. Accept our thanks for this day and all its blessings. Grant that each of us in this virtual District Conference and Assembly may feel our responsibility to Rotary, to our communities, to our countries, and to all peoples. Bless our conference activities and all the conference speakers. Bless all those who have given of their time and resources to organize this unique DCA. God and Father of us all, as we gather online as members and friends of Rotary, we pray that we are ever mindful of the opportunities to render our service to our fellow human beings and to our communities. May we always keep in mind the enduring values of life. We pray particularly that we may exert our efforts to the preservation of those natural gifts that you have given us, so that we may use them sustainably in ways that do not only benefit us today, but so that future generations can build upon them with confidence. Give us the wisdom and courage to continue striving to make a better world. Lord God, in spite of the challenges around us in the world, particularly the current COVID-19 pandemic, we are still grateful for the many blessings and opportunities that you give us. Give us the humility to appreciate and not to take them for granted. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. God our Father, may we be challenged to give our best while being assured and cognizant of your presence in our lives. Give us the grace to stay focused on the objectives we have for the world: peace and conflict prevention, water and sanitation, disease prevention and treatment, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, and economic and community development. As Rotarians, may we be true champions for a true fraternity for mankind, where everyone is free from hunger, from oppression, from ignorance and sickness. As we begin this conference, we want to reaffirm our commitment to a simple Rotary forward test for all that we do and support. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We reaffirm our commitment to high ethical standards in all we do. We give thanks for all the blessings, opportunities, and responsibilities that are especially ours as Rotarians. May our participation in this virtual District Conference and Assembly help us to renew our optimism, energy, and commitment of service to you and our fellow men and women. God our Father, help us to understand that no matter what name it is given and in what language it's expressed, the philosophy called the Golden Rule is indeed the most true guidepost by which we should mark the trails of our existence on earth. Remind us that if that concept were universally held as a standard by the people of all nations and faiths, there would be no wars, no hunger, no crime, no injustice, and no discrimination. We pray that as Rotarians, the Golden Rule, which is manifested in our motto, service above self, may guide us as we strive to help those who are less fortunate. We commend to you our government leaders and all those who make the decisions that affect us. so that their efforts, whether international or local, shall be motivated by this same great rule of charity, love, and goodwill. Bless our deliberations and grant that we come out with meaningful resolutions. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Naku, for that very and well thought out prayer. And with that, may I take this opportunity to call the conference to order. We are going to have several anthems played, 5 of them, in the order of Uganda, Tanzania, East Africa, Canada, and Rotary International. We all know what to do when the anthems play, and we trust that following the 4-way taste, we shall either stand up or put up one of our hands, the right hand. So over to you for the anthems. Thank you.
Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
All right, thank you very much. We are now in the conference mood, and we trust that wherever you are, you feel the same. Rotary is also known for breaks that have a bit of fun. In our midst right now is a wonderful lady by the names Lydia Jasmine. Lydia, what do you have for us? Over to you, Lydia.
Hello, my name is Lydia Jasmine, and I want to say congratulations to the Rotary fraternity on your first ever online district conference. I want to say congratulations, here to do something little for you guys, and I hope you like it. Thank you for reaching out to the less fortunate. Thank you for everything you do. God bless you. Hope you like this one. Hey, ooh, ooh, yeah. Can't let you go, baby. No letting go. No letting go. I can't let you go, my baby, 'cause I love you so. I love you, yeah. Yes, I love you. Yeah. Hey, loving you. Yeah. Loving you is all I know, yeah. I hate it. Loving you, yeah. So low. Sometimes you take me so low. Baby, no. Things would have better with enough love. Yes, so low. Sometimes you take me so low. Baby, no. Things would have better with enough love. You shouldn't know that me love you. You shouldn't know that me I adore you. You shouldn't know that me love you. You shouldn't know that me I kwagala nyo. Yeah. Kwagala nyo. Yeah. I can't go, my baby. There's no letting go. No letting go. I can't let you go, my baby, because I love you so. I love you, yeah. I love you, yeah. Hey, ooh, yeah. I love you.
Oh, thank you very much, Lady Lydia Jasmine. That was beautiful. You're so gifted, God, for that kind of gift. May I now take this opportunity to call our District Executive Secretary. This is none other than Kunda, very dedicated servant in Rotary, but also a proud major donor and a chartered farmer. Agri, come tell us this invocation.
Thank you. I'd like to take you through the invocation and also take this opportunity for us to remember those in our midst that have left us this year. Almighty God, we invoke a blessing upon this occasion of our virtual conference and assembly. Make us aware of the deeper significance of our meeting as we develop our friendships as the source of Rotary service. Guided by the knowledge that true, complete, and lasting Rotarian happiness lies only in the synergy of fellowship and teamwork. In humanitarian projects, we pray to God who straightens all our paths to lead our steps on the path of selfless service to others, the road the road of giving not what we have too much of, but that which we can do without, and which others desperately need. Amen. Now let's remember departed Rotarians, Rotaractors, Interactors within our district who passed on during the Rotary year 2019-2020. In times of sorrow, we turn to you, our Creator. Let us bring comfort to those who we remember in your service in Rotary. Bless the families in mourning and help us continue to do the work we must continue doing in their loving memory. We particularly cherish our memories of our President, Anne Mohanji, who departed from us only recently. The American poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote, "When a great man dies, for years the light he leaves behind him lies on the paths of men." Let us pray to God, who in his mysterious way straightens our path, that our district always finds a way to preserve the memory and estimation of the contribution of past members, so that when faced with new challenges, we'll find the best response through collective experience, memory, and strength. Amen.
All right, thank you very much, our DES. May I now take this opportunity to once again call back our district governor, DG Francis Xavier Sentam, to officially give us the welcome remarks. After we have heard from the DG, we will also hear from the conference chair, who will introduce the guest speaker, and we shall flow like that in a row, followed by a vote of thanks. Over to you, DG. Thank you.
I know this is a requirement that we put on the masks, but I'll ask for pardon since there is no one nearby me here, so that I can freely speak without the hindrance of the mask. Fellow Rotarians, friends of Rotary, good morning. Good morning from wherever you are attending this conference from, in the comfort of your homes, in the comfort of your offices, and in whatever part of the world that you are all tuned in from. This reminds me of that first day at school, the anxiety, everything that runs in your mind, how the day is going to pan out, which friends you are going to meet, and indeed which connections you are going to make. And so to you all, I want to thank you for having made it a point to join us this morning. I want to start by recognizing the Rotary International President Personal Representative for this conference, our good friend, a friend of this district, a friend of Africa, past Rotary International Director Brian Stales. Thank you so much for waking up so early in Canada to be part of this great conference. It's a unique conference. It's a milestone. It's setting history. I want to recognize the President, the Vice President of Rotary International, Vice President Yinka Babalola, who is joining us all the way from Nigeria. In the same spirit, friends, allow me to recognize our trustee-elect, the trustee of the Rotary Foundation, effective next Rotary year, a good friend of this district, and Nalong, because it's from her that we are able to merge two districts, Nalongo Jita Manek, all the way from Nairobi. Our keynote speakers, Edgar from South Africa, and Mary from Egypt. I recognize you all. Again, I need to recognize all our leaders in this great district. District 9211 is rich with leaders. And because they are all in their different homes and offices, allow me to recognize them all in their own capacities. But in a special way, allow me to recognize this governor-elect, my sister, Rosette Nabumba Nayenga. Thank you for being here. The district Rotary representative, Jacob, and the district Rotary representative-elect, Edmund. To you all, my fellow Rotarians, my fellow Rotractors, my dear wife, Brenda, and the children at home, I cannot fail to recognize those ones in a special way. And the family of Rotary. Good morning again and welcome to this 95th District Conference. Friends, as you may be aware, we are supposed to have had this conference in Mbarara from the 29th of April to the 2nd of May. But thanks to COVID, and I will say thanks to COVID, probably not everyone tuned in today would have been in Mbarara. See what the opportunities that COVID came with. We now are able to communicate to the rest of the world, to communicate and indeed connect to all fellow Rotarians and friends of Rotary in the comfort of their homes. So thank you for having put off time to join us. This conference, just like all other conferences, is a time to reflect on the great connections, the successes, and indeed the impact that Rotary has made in our great district, and indeed around the world. It's a time to connect with friends, make long-lasting friendships, and celebrate for all those wonderful things that we've done together. Conferences and assemblies is a time to inspire others, to get inspired. And this particular one is not short of that. We are going to listen from the very best in the field of technology, from the very best when we talk about the foundation. Our Rotary International Vice President will speak to us about engaging and taking care of your internal customers who are our members in Rotary movement. We shall get inspired. We shall share from our very own Rotarians. And my friends, don't go anywhere else. Grab a cup of coffee, grab that bottle of water, because you are in for a great celebration. You are in for something special. I want to welcome you all. And I hope that we can be able to interact and connect, share your ideas, share your comments through the platforms, on Twitter, on Facebook, through Zoom that we are using, and wherever you are, get engaged and get connected. Welcome and welcome again. Now that I'm done with our welcomes, I want to turn to another noble duty. As a governor, the day you are nominated, one of the things, the people that you start thinking about is that leader, is those people who you are going to share with the journey of service together. And anyone who has led this great district knows so well that one of the activities that we are known of doing well is ensuring that we give a great celebration to our fellow Rotarians and friends of Rotary, and those partners of ours who join us in this journey of service to make sure that we have a successful year. And so 3 years ago, when I got nominated in Arusha, I thought of a friend who is going to share this journey with me. And I remember then I approached this gentleman. He looked surprised, but I knew with his wealth of experience as a seasoned marketer, having worked in the petroleum sector for over 20 years, being a director in the green logistics company, Uganda Limited, having joined Rotary, joined the Rotary Club of Muyenga over 22 years ago, and I've seen him serve and serve enthusiastically. I picked on a friend who I knew would work together with a team of dedicated men and women to deliver for us at this conference and assembly. And for 3 years, he has done nothing short of ensuring that we have a great DCA. Even when we could not have a physical DCA in Imbarara, I turned to him and I told him we need to engage to connect with our friends across the world through a virtual DCA. He's a past district governor, a past assistant governor. He has served as a membership chair for this district and is coming in as a district treasurer. My Rotary family and friends of Rotary, wherever you are, join me to welcome on stage my good friend, past assistant governor, David Balaka, who is our conference chair for this Rotary year. David, please join me on the podium.
Thank you, District Governor Xavier. Fellow Rotarians, our sponsors, partners, and friends of Rotary. It gives me great pleasure to appear before you, representing a huge team that has been behind the organization of the traditional DCA and now this first ever virtual DCA conference and assembly in our district. And here I would like to quote the words of a great scientist, Charles Darwin, who said, and I quote, "It is not the strongest of species that survive, nor the most effective, but rather the one most adaptable to change." COVID-19 has changed our lives, and we should adapt to the paradigm shift to be able to survive in the new world. The new world is going to be driven by technology, hence the need to embrace it. The organizing committee for the traditional DCA had been involved in preparations for over 2 years before the COVID-19 pandemic struck and brought everything to a halt, as it indeed rendered it unwise to gather people in big numbers. Rotary activities were not spared, as the planned conference due to have taken place in Mbarara was to collect an attendance of about 2,000 Rotarians from our district and beyond. Once it became impossible to have a physical meeting, our governor, Francis Xavier, came up with the idea that we must arrange a virtual conference. And here we are for 2 days to witness the usual programs that happen at the district conference and assembly from the comfort of our homes, without risking our lives. Here I wish to thank wholeheartedly the DC organizing committee, both for Mbarara and the virtual DCA. Please enjoy the programs that have been prepared for you and pray that they will enable you to continue serving humanity. I wish you fruitful deliberations and enjoy the conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Conference Chair, for a job well done. Indeed, it would only have been possible by a team as dedicated as you and the ones you led. We really appreciate you. Someone has sent a comment through our online platforms saying we need to observe social distancing and we need to sanitize the microphones and everything. I just want to assure you that that is happening here. Every time you see the breaks, we are doing some cleaning. There's a team, maybe you'll see them later. And we are very much, everyone, the few people here are all wearing masks, and the distances are very much required by Ministry of Health. And also, we are very cognizant of the need to observe as much social distancing as possible. But we do thank you for caring for us, hey? That is very nice. We hope you are also taking good care of yourself, because we need you for the next district conference and assembly and other things that we shall be doing together. All right, let's proceed with the rest of the program. I do hope that you are following and that you got copies of this program already. I now take this opportunity to invite AG Geoffrey Chitakule. Geoffrey Chitakule will introduce for us the guest speaker, and that will be followed by that presentation of the guest speaker, and then a vote of thanks by President Peter Mukuru. Over to you. Yes, he's over there. Over to you, Past Assistant AG Geoffrey Chitakule. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mario. And it's an honor to introduce our next speaker, and that's Dr. Marion Azza. Dr. Marion Azza is among the top 50 women, influential women in Egypt. She's a renowned academic, and she is here. She's going to be able to speak to us on a very interesting topic. And the topic is going to be the quest for privacy in the Internet of Things. I don't think I'm able enough to give Dr. Marion the justice of introduction, but I'll try. She has participated in a lot of scientific and developmental conferences all over the world, and has received awards and certificates and grants from many international organizations. Dr. Azza is currently an assistant professor and director of information at the Information Center at the National Telecoms Institute in Egypt, and assistant professor at the Nile University, and was assistant minister of communication for strategic initiatives before being appointed to the Egyptian parliament. She's a honorary member of the Egyptian parliament. She holds a master's and a PhD in communications and electronic engineering, and has published more than 70 papers to date. She was voted in 2019 as one of the leading women in academia for the decade. In 2019 also, she was among the International Women's Economic Forum and also was elected to the International Parliament for Tolerance and Peace as the Woman of Contract at the Academy in India. Based on her outstanding academic career, Dr. Eza is also a member of is a chair committee on the youth and women in House of Representatives. She's a member of the several boards, but I'll just point at one, that's Facebook Community Initiatives. And she's, as mentioned, a renowned academic and sought after speaker in several conferences. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Dr. Marian, Member of Parliament, Egypt, tries this year conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Can you hear me, everyone? I hope so. Hello to the 95th District. I'm happy to be with you. Would have loved to be with you in person and meet with you and see everyone. But, you know, as the governor said, thanks to the coronavirus, we cannot do some things, but we can do other things. We can have more participants. We can have other sorts of interaction thanks to the technology as well. It's a great pleasure to be here today. And maybe the topic is a bit technical, but I will making it like a very simple, hopefully, awareness session. I would like to thank Mr. Xavier, the governor, for his invitation. And please consider me as a part of your district. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here. I will now share my screen and about the IoT. And now after searching in my presentations, I found another one that I love so much. It was about education, and this one is very close to my heart. However, this will be next time, hopefully. So now I will turn the screen. Events, even sometimes the medical things are happening through technology somewhere else in the world. So, but there are some fears that we need to address. So we have in our agenda today, like 4 pages. It's a simple introduction about the topic, some incidents that had happened, some challenges and best practice. So to introduce, I thought there was a video here, but just a minute, sorry. I'm sorry for that. Okay, let's skip that video and say only that IoT network of physical objects that contain embedded technology to communicate and sense with internet states or the external environments. This is by Gardner. And simply to say that now we have a network of like our coffee machine with our like washing machine, with all the machines we have at home or at work. They communicate together with our mobiles. So there are lots of applications there. There's house alarm systems. They connect the physical door that has been opened with your cell phone that tells you that someone has entered your home. There are smart watches. There are vehicles accessing data. The wake-up alarms even are becoming IoT. The refrigerator that senses the food inside and tells you deficiency. You need more tomatoes here. You need more like whatever it is in the refrigerator deficiency. And smart city applications in general, the smart homes, you enter your phone, you talk to your door that opens, and the lights turn on and so on. In the year 2016 was the year of data security. And to say so, 90% of health care providers suffered from data breaches in the previous 2 years. And this is very, very like scary because, you know, your health data is sometimes private, and private in the sense that you really don't need someone to know about it. The doctor can know about it, but maybe your cousins shouldn't know about it. Maybe someone is waiting for someone to die for heritage or something, and we don't want this person to know that the other is dying. This is a bad example, but it happens. You know, the ransomware, where you were working peacefully on your computer, you had your files, and all of a sudden you get that email that tells you, oops, oh, sorry, we have locked everything on your computer. You cannot access your own data. So you need to pay a ransom for us to free your data. And this is something like, I know someone, a friend of mine, he had worked for years and years in his studies and made a lot of documents and research. They were not published online, but they were like, he's a preacher. So everything was lost all of a sudden with ransomware. Did 2017 look like more the same? Yes. The devices have been weaponized in mass. And in October, there were breaches to webcams, digital recorders, PayPal, whatever. And recent survey of healthcare executives conducted by healthcare said that 52% of security was the highest IT priority, and 58% IoT devices are the top list of security concerns. These are the statistics of the total of the IoT units, because sometimes you say, oh, it's not, we don't have this. No, you will have it. Maybe it started at some parts of the world and it will reach our part of the world. So for instance, automobiles, you have 3,511. In services in general, 3,164. The total is 25,000. And this is in millions, 25,000 million. So this is a big number, it's not a small one. Gartner said that by 2020, which is this year, there will be over 26 billion connected devices, while other analysts believe the number will exceed 100 billion. Of course, these were like forecasting, but this year has been different in everything, and maybe things have differed. This was a kind of joke that says, oh, it's your doctor. He just got an alert that you're having a second helping of pie. Because now we are monitored. How many of you feel so private at their home now after smartphones? There is no more privacy in there. No matter the reason why things are being connected to the internet, the end goal is data collection. They need my precious data. Our data is very precious. They are being sold everywhere. We have been intruded through this privacy intrusions. So what happened with IoT devices? There were a lot of incidents. So as you see, parenting in the year 1984, did you really brush your teeth, or did you just get bristles to make it seem like you did? In parenting in 2014, did you really brush your teeth, or did you just hack your toothbrush? Can you hack the toothbrush? Now you can hack it. Yes, because it's connected to the internet. So in the old days, when you were buying a washing machine, price was the most important selling point. Nobody's asking, does it have a firewall or intrusion prevention system? Or the simple question is it secure? Starting from this years and years ahead, we ask ourselves, is it secured enough? The problem is we have the old systems and default password. I would ask you a question. How many of you, when we want to put a password to our devices, would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1 to 8? Many of us do it. Believe it or not, you know what? A company of credit cards was hacked, and the credit cards were taken, the numbers, because the password was default everywhere in the malls. So people hacked the server and got all the credit cards number with those simple, and we keep doing it and doing it again, default passwords or failing to select strong password. And by the way, I would give you a trick for the strong passwords. The trick is if you, for example, like a statement, for example, I'm an active Rotarian member of District 95, for example. You can just get this phrase written somewhere, hidden somewhere, and take the initials and add some numbers and symbols, and this would be your password, for example. So this is one of the tricks, and it works, I think so. So there was a very sad event. It was a Mirai botnet attack and revenge of Internet of Things. It was early 2016. Believe it or not, it happened 4 years ago. So there was, it was coffee makers attack, and they programmed the coffee makers attack. They intruded it, and they went throughout the network. Because the thing that I want to explain is that the coffee machine is connected with the PC, is connected with the smartphone. The coffee machine is the weakest link because it doesn't have a password sometimes, or like default passwords, as we said. So an intruder might enter the coffee machine and then from within the network enter to your PC or to my smartphone. So this was a terrible. And the problem was that people, without going into technical details, as I promised, that people took the code, because an attack is simply some code written, some lines written. The code was published online. And when they published the code online, everyone could take it and make more attacks. There is no security by design. A hacker had figured out how to hack into internet-connected kettles and steal some passwords. And in the news, the cameras would be used to spy the owners. The security firm has warned it's too easy for criminals to take control of cameras, which could be used to spy on the owners of the camera. You get a camera like just to secure yourself, and now you are spied. Your privacy has been taken. Moreover, the cute cats, the cute kitty cats, they were weaponized to hack the neighbors' Wi-Fi passwords. So this is a very, very like alarming state. So when you see a cat, you should worry a bit if it's weaponized or she's weaponized or not. This is again hacking kettles, and the procedure was all known. It was a regular connection with a kettle and do some technical stuff, very, very easy, and get into the network. And the hacked cameras, there was a massive internet outage through the cameras, a massive and sustained internet attack that has caused outages and network congestion for large number of websites. The problem is that people, they want to start by the easiest thing, the kettles, and then attack the servers. And then the websites are becoming down and you cannot have them. The attack created problems with Twitter, Amazon, and Netflix, which are now essential websites in our life. So this is very warning, and it's not easy. And there were a lot of lessons learned. While published on account describing how two security researchers were able to wirelessly hack into a Jeep Cherokee, first taking a control of the entertainment system, the radio and any entertainment, and then disabling the accelerator. And maybe sometimes turning something on that you didn't turn on. For example, you're driving your own car, which is a smart car, and then you have the radio turned on, and then you have you cannot stop the car, and this is more dangerous. If someone wants to cause an accident, he can just simply stop the brakes. And this is like very, very dangerous, not about entertainment, and it's a lot. So the top things to know about the recent IoT, Internet of Things attacks, that they pose a new risk for, and I want to quote this, everyone. Everyone is at risk. IoT devices are valuable to hackers, and they won't give them up without a fight. They are very valuable because they help them to hack more easily than before. So at this point, they would not give up a hack. And by now, I want to stop and ask you a question. How many of you, and you can through the chat, like raise your hands or use the Zoom tool to raise your hand, how many of you have been subject to that email? Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my money, I'm traveling, from a friend, and I need you to transfer more money. How many of you? How many of us has received an email saying you need to update your password for your bank? Here is the link of your bank, just click. You know what? These used to be the easy hacks for people like to steal your stuff and make like some good money in it. Like these emails of like a fraud, or like that you enter the link and you write your username and password, someone else is watching you and taking your username and passwords that are called credentials and uses them to steal us. These were the easy hacks, and hackers usually want the easy way. Now for the Internet of Things, it has become easy as well, and they would them up without a fight. The denial of service attack severe, and I mean by denial of service like the ones we talked about, like through using the kettles, entering to the, making the servers down, and disabling users to use Amazon, Twitter, or any websites. And this can a lot of losses to the companies of like Amazon, Netflix, of whatever. The cyber criminals, they're not like amateurs, they're hacktivists, cyber criminals driving the attack. And the problem is, I hate to say this, it will get worse before it gets better. So the problem is that we are very connected. Connectivity has outspaced security, and unintended linkages are the rule, not the exception. I mean, everything is linked together. It wasn't intended, but it happened. It is the rule. So if you want to have good Internet of Things, we need to have a secured Internet of Things. We need a multi-layered approach for security, and this is for technical people, so I will not talk about it, but I will talk in an easy way about the challenges that are there. Like still the price of turning a dumb device into a smart device will be 10 cents. So this is an alarming statement, because everything will be turned into a smart device. When smart devices are connected together, they're called Internet of Things. I wake up in the morning, I need my coffee. So on my cell phone, I say, turn the coffee machine on. And maybe it's connected automatically to water, and the coffee, it is turned on, and my coffee is ready. I can go and pick it, and even the robot can be there and can give it to me. So this is the life of dumb devices that have been turned into smart devices. The danger from a psychological perspective is that people forget about the technology and forget about the risk associated and our own personal mitigation of that risk. So we have a lot of challenges. We have the baby monitors, and I'm now not talking about technical people. I'm talking about human people that care about their children, that care about their society. I'm talking to Rotarians that work to help the societies. There is an awareness issues. Whenever this technology is there for us, we need to take care. The baby monitors can be used like to be hacked and to enter the network. The internet connected cars, as I mentioned, all the wearables, the Bluetooth, whatever, the health data, the smartwatch applications, and more dangerously, the children toys. People can use the children toys smartly. I'm not sure if you heard about like the blue whale game that was there, and because of this game, some people, some teenagers connected suicide because someone was controlling them through the internet, taking bad pictures for them, and like giving them orders to obey. Otherwise, they would disclose those pictures or those photos. The children toys can be very dangerous to the children we care about because they start controlling them, giving them orders, taking some photos, and whatever they can do because they have become smart. So it's very, very dangerous. And our role as Rotarians is to aware the society of this danger and take care of our own children. The facts that are causing challenges, that the potentially record-breaking number of acquisitions of IoT devices was 80% 5 years ago. The IoT playing field grows more crowded. Visa, Barbie, whatever. It has become more and more. And the established companies double down in IoT to offset declining revenue. Intel has cut 12,000 workers. Savings went to the Internet of Things and data center businesses. Smart cities and self-driving cars, 15%. We have completely self-driving cars, and we all heard about the Tesla that was there. Routers and modems pose a particular problem because they are between users and the internet, so turning them off is increasingly not an option anyway. You cannot turn off your router while you're in a Zoom meeting, for example. They're more powerful and more general in function. The 124/7 computing device in the house are a natural place for lots of new features and lots of new risks as well. We use the same login credential. I mean, the credentials of the username is user, the password is 126. This is a challenge. We need to change this. And if you don't get anything out of this presentation, because maybe it's not interesting for you, but the only thing you have to take care of is your username and password. The password should be strong enough with enough letters and symbols, capital and small, because there are like tools to break the passwords very, very easy. A lot of errors have been done, and this is a challenge. A group of firms, including Vodafone, founded Internet of Things Security Foundations. This is a lot of effort. Setting up platforms for authentication. Authentication means the username and password, and to enhance the security through device and smartphone linking. Microsoft is working on that. And I'm mentioning the names because if one day we as Rotarian want to do something about it, to protect the children, to protect the homes, we need to know the companies that are interested. I will end the presentation. I hope it's not boring because it's a bit technical. I love to talk about peace, about education, innovation, but this is an awareness one. It's important itself, the best practices. We need to protect, detect, respond, and recover. Can I interest you in a firewall for your toaster? Now it's something new. We need something to protect our automatic toaster or smart toaster. So the implementers need to secure the developers, the securer, and the consumer. I will not talk about the implementer or developer who should do their own work properly, but I need to turn to the consumer. You need to make sure while purchasing devices, if any, if you live in the USA, if you are in Europe or in countries that have already adopted this, you purchase devices with built-in securities. And let the companies whose products lack security know why you haven't purchased them. This is a role that the consumer can do. Secure the devices you are purchasing, change in the default passwords, and enable the security features. And again, this is not only for IoT, but for all our devices. Is a security alarm that our devices are in danger. And our smartphone that has all our photos or our contacts, our history, need to be secured properly. Now in the smartphones, even, you know, I used to have my, it used to have the face detection, but now after wearing the mask, I cannot every time remove the mask and do my face detection. And I don't want to do the detection with my fingers. Maybe they're not like, they're contaminated with anything. So now I use the iris detection to open my cell phone. And this is something that we need to like work on. At a minimum, smart devices should include the abilities for strong passwords and encryption. It is fundamentally challenging how computers get incorporated in our lives. Through the sensors, we're giving the internet eyes and ears. Through the actuators, we're giving the internet hands and feet. Through the processing, mostly in the cloud, we're giving the internet a brain. And now watch what we're creating together. We're creating an internet that senses, thinks, and acts. This is the classic definition of a robot, and I contend that we are building a world-sized robot without even realizing it. This is Bruce Schneier that has said so. And after finishing this presentation I have done with my presentation, it is simply awareing that we need to protect ourselves in the health sector by wearing masks and sometimes wearing gloves and washing our hands all the time. But we need to protect our devices by having secure passwords, making sure that we are not connecting to a risky connection. And this is our role to protect our private data that are there. Even if we're not using Internet of Things, we are using simply smartphones, and this is enough to protect and not to be exposed to any danger. I've done with my presentation. However, I always like at the end of any Rotarian presentation to sing like a song that I had composed for Rotary. I hope you like it. If you can sing it and learn it, I will sing it twice. And it will be an opportunity to sing together in the morning. So let's read it together. Rotarians and members of peace, love, and care, guide Rotary wheel everywhere. Spread inclusion in the air, Rotarians and ambassadors of peace, love, and care. And these are the themes of Rotary: promoting peace, fighting disease, mothers and children and education, local economies that are suffering now, and sanitation, fight for this innovation. So let's sing together. I know I cannot hear you because everyone is muted, but I will hear with my heart. Economies and sanitation, fight for these causes, use innovation. I'll sing the whole thing one last time. I think I should have added a verse on coronavirus, but I don't want this verse to last, so that's why I didn't add it. So let's sing together with an enthusiasm as if the world is hearing us. Rotarians, ambassadors of peace, love, and care, guide Rotary with everywhere. spread inclusion in the air. Rotarians, ambassadors of peace, love and care, promoting peace, fighting disease, mothers and children, and education, local economies and sanitation, fight for these causes, use innovation, Rotarians, ambassadors of peace, love and care, guide Rotary with everywhere, spread inclusion in the air, Rotarians, ambassadors of peace, love and care. Thank you very much.
Wow.
It has been a great pleasure, and thank you all very much. Wishing you all to be safe, sound, and happy. God bless you all, and take care.
Dr. Arza, I'm not sure whether to thank the doctor, the academic, or the musician.
Thank you.
My name
Thank
is
you so
Peter.
much.
My name is Peter Mukuru, the president of the Rotary Club of Kampala South. And we would like to heartily thank you. Friends, I know the challenges and the discussions about security or cybersecurity can be nerve-wracking, but at least I know we've ended on a very good song. If nothing, at least I know we are enthused to engage and ensure that we are secure. We've learned some tricks on safeguarding ourselves, that this risk affects issue related to it, and that it is all around us. It's no longer sci-fi movies. It's no longer something in the future. It is here around us. Dr. Aza, we thank you on behalf of the district leadership, the members, and of course the friends and the whole community with us here. We'd like to heartily thank you for the precious time you've spent with us in preparing this presentation and in delivering it, and of course for the exceptional insights that you've given us. We thank you, and we always welcome you to our district. Once we open up, I'm sure we'll not only meet you virtually, but we'll also meet you in person. So from all of us here, we'd like to say Shukran Gazilan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Peter, and if you allow me to wish you all the best of luck in your new governing time. I'm sure it will be marvelous. You'll be continuing what our dear friends have started, my dear friend, Mr. Xavier, and I'm sure everything would be great and things will be better tomorrow. We have big hopes in tomorrow. All the best of luck. It was a real pleasure, and enjoy the rest of your district, the 95th district event. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The mood is great in the room here. People are very happy about the 95th District Conference and Assembly and all the things happening and the wonderful speeches and the wonderful notes of advice and the projections for a future in the Internet of Things. Thank you very much. That was a very good presentation. We now move on to the next block, and again I will announce what this will be. We are going to have our past district governor, Stephen Mwanje, who will introduce the Rotary International President's personal representative, and then we shall have that address, followed by a vote of thanks from AG Vikash Shah. AG Vikash Shah is from Tanzania. Thank you very much. Over to you, PDG Mwanje. PDG Mwanje is best known for the Rotary Cancer Run. PDG.
I have the greatest pleasure of introducing past RI Director Brian Stiles, the personal representative of RI President Mark Daniel Maloney to our 95th District Conference. Brian's presence at our district conference means a lot to our district, and is particularly significant for many reasons. Brian has been Rotarian since 1986, when he joined the Rotary Club of Barrie, Honoria, Barrie in Ontario, Canada. He went on to serve as club president in the year 1995-96, and later as conference chair in the year 1999 for District 7010. Brian went on to serve as group study exchange team leader to Australia in April 2000. Brian is a centennial district governor, having served as district governor for District 7010 in the year 2004-2005. He has served as chair at RI of various committees, and has also been serving as a representative of RI president to many conferences around the world. His passions for Rotary include membership and our Rotary Foundation. He was District Rotary Foundation Chair for District 7010 in the year 2007 to 2010, and later on served as the Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Zone 24 East from 2010 to 2012. Brian also served as a representative to the Council on Legislation, representing District 7010 in the year 2010. He went on to serve as director for Zone 24 East from the year 2012 to 2014, and thereafter went to serve on the board of trustees of the Rotary Foundation as a trustee from the year 2015 to 2017. He's currently serving as the chairman of the Rotary Peace Centers and as aide to RI President nominee Shekta Meta for 2021-22. As chair of the Peace Centers, Rotarians in Uganda and District 9211 will never forget the special role that played, that culminated into Makerere becoming the first peace center ever on the African continent. In fact, Brian has paid us a visit twice between last year and this year. He was here in March 2019 and early on in January 2020. By profession, Brian and his wife Randy are both pharmacists, and they operated their own pharmacies for over 30 years. They are both Paul Harris Fellows, Foundation Bequest Society members, and Arch-Clamp Society members. Brian has been recognized with numerous awards, including the Citation for Meritorious Service, the Service Above Self Award, and the Rotary Foundation Distinguished Service Award. Although Rwanda is not yet a Rotarian, her support to Brian has allowed him to do the Rotary work that he actually enjoys most. Randy and Brian have 2 adult married children, Aaron and Sarah, and 5 grandchildren. Their family fondly calls them the absentee and unreliable grandparents because of their travel schedules. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you our Rotary International President's personal representative, Brian Stiles.
Thank you very much, past District Governor Stephen, for those very kind words. It's amazing how quickly time flies when you're doing it. It sounds interesting. First, I'd like to congratulate District Governor Xavier and Conference Chair David. This is incredible. It's so well put together. And all of you, the chats that are going back and forth are just amazing. So it truly is wonderful. It is a pleasure for me to be here with you. Unfortunately, it has to be virtually. Randy and I, my wife Randy and I, were so looking forward to coming to Uganda again. I wanted to introduce Randy to the wonderful country and the Rotarians there, but the world has changed. I congratulate Xavier for having the foresight to cancel the in-person conference and taking that very brave step. It was a difficult decision, but I know it was the correct one. And as Stephen mentioned, fortunately, I've had the opportunity to visit Uganda twice in the last 18 months. So I have a good understanding of what I call the power of Rotary in District 9211 and the great work that is being done. And I'll speak about a little more about that in just a moment. Pleasure for Randy and I to have been asked to be President Marks and Gay's representatives at your district conference. I stand the tremendous work that your district leadership is doing to ensure that Makerere University, as Stephen mentioned, was the host of the first Rotary Peace Center in Africa. And actually, it's the first new Rotary Peace Center in 15 years. After meeting your district leadership team, I specifically asked to come to your district as a president representative because I wanted to meet the rest of the Rotarians in Uganda and Tanzania. All of you in District 9211 should be very proud of your district leadership team. But strong leadership doesn't just suddenly, it's a result of the Rotarians in your district developing future leaders over the course of time. And then it's the current leaders standing on the shoulders of those who came before them to carry on the goals and the mission of your district. District 9211 has been doing this for a considerable amount of time, and I know you'll continue to do this in the future. If this was a usual district conference, I might have started my presentation slightly differently. As we all know, Rotarians are very formal in some aspects, and that's how we recognize people in the room. It's understood in Rotary that we are all equal, but we have different areas of responsibility. No one role or any position is of any more importance than any other role. But the Rotary Manual of Procedure, there is an actual protocol and how you would introduce various people who are in a room. And I think you realize that this would probably start, depending who's in the room, with the Rotary International President or their representative, then moving on to the Rotary Directors, International Directors, Director-elects, trustees, etc., the district governor. However, I don't know if that protocol is correct, and I think it could be modified. It should be done in an order of importance, but of a different sort. So sometimes when I'm speaking personally to a group like yourselves, I would begin a speech something like this. First, I'd like to acknowledge all of the Rotarians and partners who do the work of Rotary. I'd like to acknowledge the friends of Rotary who, although they are not Rotarians, they support us in what we do. And then I'd like to acknowledge the club presidents who lead and motivate their clubs every year. For without each one of those three groups, the work of Rotary would not get done. Then, of course, I'd acknowledge the district leaders who support the clubs and the Rotarians, and the district governor who leads, motivates, sometimes cajoles, and maybe occasionally may have to threaten as they coordinate all of the work of the district. And then I would finally recognize those from the zone and the Rotary International level who do tremendous work establishing programs and policies. And with apologies to District Governor Xavier and my good friends who are past district governors assembled today, apologies to Rotary International Vice President Yinka and Trustee-elect Gita, we must remember that without those Rotarians in the clubs who do the projects locally and internationally, all of the planning done at the district, at the zone, and at the Rotary International level would be for naught. The real heroes of our organization are those Rotarians who stay involved and active in their clubs year after year after year without much, if any, recognition. There are approximately 5,200 Rotarians and 170 clubs in District 9211. And I would ask you that if nothing else after this virtual district conference, I'd encourage all of you to thank those Rotarians in your club, you know who they are, who quietly do the work of Rotary day after day and year after year. To me, they are the real heroes of our organization. Now remember that we all make a difference. Not all of us can participate as much as others in the projects that our clubs do. And that is not important. We all have different priorities and different strengths at different times of our lives. I urge you to become as involved to the level that you are comfortable, but remember your priorities. And they should always be family, work, and then Rotary. And believe me when I tell you that my wife, Randy, has to remind me of that quite often. There's an expression, and I'll use it. I'm speaking to the choir when I talk to a district conference and approximately 1,100 people that are now online. For you already realize the importance of coming to a district conference, even if it is a virtual district conference. You see the importance of attending, and the previous speaker is a perfect example of that. I remember when Randy and I attended our first district conference in 1992, and it was about 6 years after I joined Rotary. I had joined Rotary, but I wasn't a Rotarian yet. But it was at the district conference that I started to learn about this organization that we belong to. Up until then, I had joined the fellowship and the meetings of my own club, but it was at the district conference that I met Rotarians from across my district. And my district is rather large, maybe not quite as large as yours, but I did a comparative study, and my district is about the size of Uganda. It was a tremendous feeling to enjoy the same fellowship that I enjoyed in my club at a district conference with Rotarians from around my district. These were people that I didn't really know. From that, so many years ago, Randy and I have established strong friendships around the districts that now go beyond Rotary. Every conference you go to, and again, the previous speaker is a perfect example, you learn something that you can apply not only in your Rotary life, but you can apply it to your business life and to other aspects of your daily routine. So I'd encourage you again, when you go back to your clubs, to encourage your members to come to a district conference. And this one would have been a perfect one because you can do it in the comfort of your own home. But go to a district conference. It helps to re-energize you and motivate you with Rotary and to give you an update on what is happening with Rotary currently. So if fellowship is the cornerstone of Rotary, then the other building block is one I think we all know so well, one of our core values, and that is service. And through service, Rotary connects the world. I've got some interesting statistics. District 9211 is the number 4 district in the world for doing global grants since 2013. Number 4 in the world for the number of global grants that have been done in the past 7 years. But the interesting thing is that the 5th district in the world is your neighbor, and you were all one district. District 9212 is the 5th highest district for the number of global grants done since 2013. And each one of those grants has allowed you to connect with people from across the globe in deep and meaningful ways. But it's also connected you not only with people internationally, it's also connected you with those in your own communities who you might never have met. It connects you with people who need your help, both at home and internationally. District 9211 is now connected to the world with a new peace center. Even those of you who live not in Kampala, but outside of Kampala, in remote areas of Uganda and in Tanzania, can become involved with this peace center. And I encourage you to talk with the people who are involved immediately with Makerere University and see how can you become involved. It's amazing, and you'll become involved with individuals across Africa and around the world. I just want to mention that when I looked at the chats that were coming in, the people who have come to this conference, I see so many names and people and friends I recognize, not just from District 9211, but from across Africa, and others from around the world have come to your district conference. So that's just marvelous. I have to tell you and be honest that I'm extremely impressed by all of the Rotarians in your district. If it was possible to clone a district and its members and then place them around the Rotary world, District 9211 would be the district that I would like to clone. From what I've seen, all of you understand Rotary and want to learn about its power. This year, President Mark, I think you know, has asked us to grow Rotary. Unfortunately, there are parts of the world where Rotary membership is declining, specifically in North America, Australia, and Britain. But membership is increasing in Asia and in Africa. To grow Rotary, we need to be adaptable. No two regions of the world are the same. Not too many years ago, Rotary, about 10 years ago, tried to apply the same format around the world, and we found that it just didn't work. What works in Uganda and Tanzania doesn't work in Canada. What works in India doesn't work in Australia. Obviously, Africa, and specifically District 9211, has found out what works for them. Again, some interesting statistics. Just 7 years ago, District 9200 had 179 clubs and 4,500 Rotarians. On the 1st of July 2013, 7 years ago, it was split into two districts, as you know, District 9211 and 9212. And now you know the history. Today, from that original split 7 years ago, we have almost 300 clubs and 8,000 Rotarians. That, my friends, is success. In 1 year, next year, District 9211 will split again. Imagine your future as Rotary grows. It will be an exciting time, creating new traditions while maintaining some former ones, continuing to expand the work of Rotary by chartering new innovative clubs and offering new types of memberships to meet the needs of more individuals. And it will also be a sad time because you'll be leaving the close relationship that you've developed with each other. But you'll be able to share your strengths and support each other as you move forward. A few years ago, then RI President John Kenny had as his theme, "The future of Rotary is in your hands." My friends, the future of Rotary is definitely in your hands now. The other reason I'd like to support District 9211 is your support of our Rotary Foundation. I've mentioned the number of global grants that you have done in the past 7 or 8 years, 4th highest in the world. You've done a dollar value on those grants of over $21 million. And your strong financial support is of our foundation as well. You not only utilize the programs of our foundation, but you support the foundation with your own funds. Once again, I congratulate you on your success and urge you to continue to support our foundation, your foundation. And I know Trustee-elect Gita will be talking about that in a few moments. Africa is more aware than most areas of the world of the effect of the polio virus. We must not let up. Rotarians' support is needed now more than ever. Every one of us here, everyone on this call was given an opportunity. It came in the form of someone coming up to you and say, "I'd like to invite you to a meeting of my Rotary Club." And you said yes. It might have seemed like a small opportunity at the time, but for whatever reason, for each one of us, it also seemed like a good idea. A chance to meet some interesting people, do some good work, and I think most importantly, having some fun while you're doing that work. What each one of us does with this opportunity is up to us. We may never know through the projects that we do and the opportunities that present themselves to us, how we are really affecting others. Every day that you serve in Rotary, you have the opportunity to change lives. The opportunities that come along may look small. You might sometimes think that what you're doing doesn't matter, and you may not even realize that you are making a difference. But let me tell you, you are making a difference. You are connecting with like-minded individuals to make the world a better place. Rotary is a very powerful organization, and to me, it's one that I don't think has even reached its full potential. We do things that governments can't achieve, because many times governments aren't trusted, either within their own country or abroad. We do things that religious groups can't manage, again, because of a lack of trust or a lack of funding. And we do things that non-government organizations, NGOs can't achieve because most NGOs are too singularly focused to handle multifunctional programs. Rotary and our Rotary Foundation can do all of those things. So I do ask one favor of you as I close. In your quieter times when you're having a coffee, a tea, a wine, past district governors do enjoy the occasional scotch. Thank you. Think of why you joined Rotary, and then think of the 5 reasons why you have stayed. And then write them down. But writing them down isn't enough. You need to share them with others. I urge
the Childhood Center at Daje. We have trained over 30 VHTs to improve the delivery of maternal and child health aspects. I thank our partners, club members, and the community who have been part of this journey. This beautiful journey continues as we strive to make a positive impact on the community.
The club has in it members who hail from Kalangala. Among these are 3 members of the Wamala family, these who brought to the club's attention the plight of Daje village.
General Katumba Wamala, a member of the Rotary Club of Kampala, Sese, and also a member of the Wamala family. As a Wamala family, we decided to contribute a piece of land in Bweza, in Daje, for the construction of a health center. This was after a needs assessment, which we carried out with the Rotary Club of Sese members. The health center is up and running. And after that, we also realized that there was need for an infant school because the kids were traveling a very long distance to the school. Another family donated a piece of land, and we all contributed to the construction of this facility, and both facilities are up and running now. The Rotary Club of Kampala, Sese, thanks to them, have been very, very instrumental in bringing up these 2 projects. And I want to thank everybody who has contributed, because these 2 projects have made a very big difference in the lives of the people of Bweza and Daje. Thank you, people.
Needs assessment revealed that less than 28% of all school-age children were in school, while only 30% of those actually completed school. This was due to a number of challenges, mainly distance, because the nearest 2 public primary schools were 7 kilometers and 12 kilometers away, respectively. To date, more than 200 young learners walk daily through forests and dense oil palm plantations to go to school. Additionally, the nearest 2 public health facilities were 8 kilometers and 15 kilometers away, respectively. There was no public transport on Bugala Island, thus making these health facilities inaccessible. This further revealed that residents at Daje landing site barely had community latrines, and the lake, their major source of water for cooking and drinking, was shared with animals. The Kalangala District Health Inspector also revealed that the water was also highly contaminated with human waste.
The club sprang into action to design the Daje Adopt a Village project. This initiative had as its objective to improve the livelihoods of members of the community on a sustainable basis. The first intervention was the construction of the Health Center 2 facility, which was kicked off in 2015. The facility has an outpatient department, a laboratory, a maternity wing, and staff living quarters. It cost 180 million Uganda shillings in construction and equipping, and now serves over 2,000 people. Funds for this joint partnership project were raised through a number of fun-filled activities by club members themselves, including car washes, an annual music concert with the popular Afriga band, sporting competition, partnerships, and individual contributions. The community, on the other hand, contributed labor, water, and food for the workers. The health center, which was built in 1 year and opened in 2016, has made inroads in the provision of essential health services to the village and surrounding areas. In 2017, Phase 2 began with the construction of Daje Early Childhood School. This was once again in partnership with the community, one of whom donated 2 acres of land for the project. The school on completion will consist of a nursery section, primary 1 to 3 classrooms, teachers' quarters, and sanitation amenities. Husna's life story may have had a sad ring to it had her grandmother not taken her for treatment at the village health facility to seek help from the Rotarians. Today, Husna's progress is evident from the smile on her face and the ring in her voice as she joins her classmates in singing the nursery rhymes.
Tubebaza mwenna olw'okulabirira omwana waffe ono naye talina kyeyeesobolera naye kati essaawa eno ng'alina w'atuuse. Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala temujjanga okumukama watubeera ennyo omukisa. Bannaaye mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala tusiima bakama baffe mwebalire nnyo mwebalire ddala.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend.
Thank you very much to the Rotary Club of Kampala Sese Islands for those projects and for serving humanity with such passion. We sincerely congratulate you and congratulate all the other Rotary clubs that we know are doing their best in serving humanity. Just very quickly, to those who are following us, please keep with us. There are great prizes to be won. Rock Telecom, for instance, is giving all Rotarians a 40% discount on installations. Please send an email to sales@rocktelecom.co.ug with the hashtag Rotary DC 2020, not this DCA, but Rotary DC 2020. Then you get a 40% discount on installations from Rock Telecom. And then we also have some gift hampers that you will receive. Those who stay with us, it will be random. So keep there and keep your fingers crossed, and you may get one of these. Particularly, it's a cash, it's a prize worth 400,000, again from Rock Telecom. Keep online, keep at DCA. We also have several other gifts to be won from our various sponsors, very quickly. Centenary Bank is one of them, Coca-Cola, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Civil Aviation Authority, the Parliament of Uganda, we thank you. Photogenics, Uganda Breweries Limited, and Uganda Road Fund are our sponsors, and they have amazing prizes to be won throughout the period of the 95th District Conference and Assembly. All right, let's proceed with the program. We go on to the next block. I'd like to invite Assistant Governor Agnes Batengas, who will take us through the next session that will also be followed by a vote of thanks from our Assistant Governor, Flavia Serugo. Over to you, AG Agnes.
Thank you. It is a pleasure and honor for me to introduce our next speaker, PDG Gita Manek. The topic our PDG is going to share with us today is on the Rotary Foundation and on appreciating the fruits of your investment. I will not be able to do justice to her extensive CV and accomplishments, and will only focus on a very small part of her CV that is most relevant to her topic today. Gita Manek serves as Rotary's key contact in Kenya for the growing Rotary GPE partnership. She is currently serving as chair of Rotary International's Joint Committee on Partnerships. Beginning 1st July, Ms. Manek will become one of 16 international trustees of the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. The foundation supports the projects of 35,000 Rotary clubs in 200 countries and regions, and each year awards some $100 million in grants, including nearly $13 million for basic education and literacy projects. She has also led the Rotary Foundation's Health Major Gift Initiative and served as a member of the Foundation Major Gifts Initiative Oversight Committee. Ms. Manek is the first woman regional leader overseeing more than 140 Rotary clubs in Kenya Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Eritrea. Ms. Manek was also the mother of District 9211, our district, and holds a very special place in our hearts. As an entrepreneur and businesswoman by profession, Ms. Manek manages segments of her family's interests in retail trade and real estate. She's an ardent supporter of increasing women's capacities, engagement, and leadership, both within Rotary and the community at large. Ms. Manek exemplifies the ethos that women are often closer to and more attuned to the needs of the communities where they live and work. Rotarians and friends, I present to you and welcome PDG Peter Manek.
Thank you so much for that very generous introduction. District Governor Xavier, First Lady Brenda, District Governor-elect Rossetti, District Governor nominee Mageza, all the DG and Ds you have a great collection of them, Young, Mike, and Peace, past district governors, President's Rep, my friend Bryn Stiles, and my brother Yinka Babalola, Dr. Azer, great to see you again. District Rotaract representative, Jacob and Edmund, and all the Rotaractors, my friends and family of Rotary. Thank you so much for inviting me to District 9211 again, where I feel I have a home. I am so close to you all. I have learned 2 phrases and I have not forgotten them. Sikati, Oliotia. I'm delighted to be with you and incredibly honored and humbled to be speaking to you today at your first ever District 9211 virtual district conference. You know, we would be at one point reminiscing about our fellowshipping and rekindling ties and friendships at the 95th district conference in Barara. Alas, that is not to be. But as the African proverb suggests, a path is only made by walking on it. It is only by forging ahead into the unknown do we actually make progress. And then when we look back, we see how far we have come. This crisis situation of the pandemic is an unprecedented event. And we will look back in years to come, knowing that District 9211, you did not relent under any circumstances. You did not succumb to the constraints, but rather you stood together to decisively choose to come up with out-of-box solutions in a coordinated online forum. For that, I must congratulate you, your organizing committee, for the fortitude, for the friendship, and for the vision, the leadership, which is in true Rotary style, in ensuring that the show must go on. As agents of change and ambassadors of investing in mankind, we now even have great opportunities, not only to serve humanity, but also to connect with the entire world as we are doing today. As we celebrate a great year of service with events and awards and recognitions of this DCA, we must move on. But what does it all mean? We have, of course, reflected over the past 12 months, whether big or small, our part in ensuring to put Rotary where it belongs. And where does Rotary belong? As my friend Bryn Stiles, President's representative, said, it belongs at the grassroots. This is where the investment on Rotary always begins. I've always mentioned and maintain that it is at the club level that every impact of service project happens, and that best represents our Rotary spirit. So please allow me to ask you a question. Which one is heavier? A seed whose size is a mere freckle, or a mighty mass of solid rock, the size of a mountain? Your guess is as good as mine. It doesn't take rocket science to conclude that a rock is way, way heavier than a seed, right? Now imagine if you were to bury that seed under several feet of dirt, give it water, light, fertilizer. What do you think would happen? Hold on to that thought for a while, and we'll come back to it a little later. As you hang on to that thought, allow me to share about why it is important to continue planting the seed of giving, especially during this tumultuous season. Through Rotary, we're encouraged to ensure that we remain true to ourselves, true to our fundamentals that built our organization. The emphasis on our structures and systems that emphasize the high ethical standards, the virtues of stewardship, virtues of accountability, the ultimate assurance of service and impact to our community. These core values that were planted as seeds 100 years ago have grown into what becomes our fundamental pillars of service delivery and every success story that Rotarians are so proud about. As Rotarians, I must assure you that you appreciate how this reflection of our core values and principles that are our trademarks and our beacon of comfort truly appreciate the fruits of our investment. Simply knowing that you're helping others is hugely empowering and in turn can make you feel happier and more fulfilled. But what brings us together as Rotarians in having power to improve the lives of others, to us, I believe, is a privilege and one that comes with its own sense of duty. More relevantly, planting those seeds amongst our families, our peers, our children. You know, children love to help. So nurturing the innate generosity is likely to mean that they grow up with greater opportunity, greater appreciation of what they have and how they will carry on supporting your deeds and your values in years to come. And whilst we reflect on the benefits of our investments into the Rotary Foundation, let us take a moment to appreciate the sheer magnitude and structure. Knowing that the foundation is structured to survive and thrive over decades. Our foundation, and where other organizations have succumbed to global economic downturns and meltdowns, the Rotary Foundation has withstood all these disruptions, including the COVID pandemic. I can assure you that the structures feature in the sense of understanding that the fund belongs to us, to you and to me. That is why we look to the Rotary Foundation in terms of both funding aspects and the achievements of the social impact. Many of you know that my passion lies in projecting to sustainable community and economic development. And of course, I hold education and literacy very close to my heart. To this end, I believe that Rotary is uniquely positioned to change. Yesterday, more than 30,000 people died. They died needlessly. Today, another 30,000 people will die from things that can be completely preventable. And tomorrow, the same, and day after day. Moreover, these deaths are nothing to do with the COVID pandemic. These people, many of them, children age of 5, died a miserable death of starvation, malnutrition, contaminated water, lack of medical interventions, and preventable diseases. Today, I'm going to follow the words of Mahatma Gandhi when he said, don't tell people what to do, tell them a story, and they will know what to do. So I will tell you a little story of a community economic empowerment project in Turkana, northern region, how we changed from an unthinkable, unsuitable, unsustainable project to one that eventually brought the self-respect to the nomadic people of the Pokot and Turkana communities through sustainability. I was encouraged to get involved in a past Rotary International Director, Gidi Piper, and past Rotary Foundation trustee, Julio Sorges, and the Red Cross chief here in Kenya, Abbas Gulet. We thought about bringing sustained change within this community, but when I first visited the village, it was clear that these were either the forgotten people, the unnoticed, the ignored people, the impoverished people who lived on the type of land you see on the picture in front of you. I was introduced to this village called Lobur and Kaikor. When we visited these villages, mothers of the village asked me to hold their children. These children were very, very different from the ones I'd ever seen before. Most of them were malnourished. They were bloated with little bellies. deep and sad sunken eyes. Some were all skin and bones. Many were naked, had chunks of hair missing, all due to malnutrition and starvation. I asked my colleagues who were accompanying me, why do these mothers want me to carry their children, their babies? I was told perhaps we will bring hope to them. I was confused. What hope do you bring to the most hopeless situation that one has ever witnessed? Some of you may remember these stories in 2012 in the April issue of the Rotarian magazine. That was 7 or 8 years ago. Since then, through my club and with partners in Israel and around the world, we began a journey to transform this community. Slowly and gradually, the lifestyles changed from the nomadic pastoral community to a more structured and settled community. Slowly, the settlements increased. So did their need for education. And education and Turkana is a story I will say for another day. Thus, all our communities that we were working with, who were now collaborating instead of having conflicts. After the few years, we've now embarked on the fourth phase of this transformative program. The villagers were happy, the donors back home were happy when they saw pictures every year of their community that we were supporting. My club members felt truly empowered. It gave me the adrenaline rush just to think of the positive impact of these communities. For future generations, the donors, and eventually the world, this gave us the inspiration that the unthinkable was now possible. We were beginning to change the trajectory of this community. What is in the message of my story? We can't perhaps save the world, but we can certainly change the world through opportunity. Searching for sustainable program, and my personal journey continues. Friends, Rotarians, you can provide opportunities for people to support themselves. How can we secure the return on your investment? We have got to give it our serious time, our treasure and talent to these sustainable projects. We have to ask ourselves the difficult and important question: are we leaving these people with self-respect, dignity, and opportunity? Or are we creating dependency? You Rotarians are doing this daily. You are those dream merchants who make dreams real for those who dare dream. Remember this, we have the people, we have the energy, we have the resources to change the world. You as leaders have the power to influence and propel the change. Be the change you want to see in the world, as Mahatma said. Another story, a little less grand, but equally impactful. How much do you think is sufficient money to save a life? Like many before I joined Rotary, I thought thousands and thousands of dollars it would take to save a life. However, over the years, my perspective has changed drastically. It has changed when I met in 2015 a lady called Becky. Never in my wildest dreams did I even consider that the amount as little as $1 would take to save a life. On a particular chilly Monday morning, I vividly recall Mama Boga, my vegetable vendor, who I had grown so fond of, was conspicuously missing from the roadside stall. My sixth sense told me that something was amiss. I knew that she had a few more weeks to go before she was going to deliver her baby. Upon inquiring with the other vendors, I had learned that she had been admitted in an emergency to a nearby clinic. Without a second thought, I dashed to the clinic and was utterly shocked with what I saw in that. At the farthest corner of the little room was Becky behind a curtain, confined and cramped up in a cubicle that could hardly fit a mouse. My heart shattered into a million pieces when I learned that Becky had prematurely delivered a baby who had died, only because this facility did not have a suction pump that would have sucked out the mucus from the baby's blocked passages. This pump, my friends, cost no more than $1. Just $1 could have saved Becky's baby. This is one reason why we should continue giving, no matter how small the amount is. Please don't underestimate the power of giving. $1 could have saved Becky's baby. Investing in the Rotary Foundation, no matter how small, is a huge investment in humanity. The adage, when you plant a seed, it will come back to you, is another reason why Rotarians should give. Not because we give what we don't require, but because investing in humanity really bears fruits. This is why we cherish and value our Rotary Foundation. It's planting that one seed which will later on bear the mouth-watering succulent fruits that are sustainable, that will outlive all of us and our humble input. Give to the Rotary Foundation, giving to the Rotary Foundation has a multiplier effect. As you know, our foundation is the premier choice of charity. By giving to the Rotary Foundation individually and collectively, we have kicked polio out of Africa. And very soon, we will kick it out of the world. It is because of your perseverance we will eradicate polio. We all know that we have to work the hardest in this last mile. Together with our partners, we will end polio. It is because of you that we all will claim the victory over this debilitating, completely preventable disease. It is the infrastructure that you all have invested in that is today helping us fight the COVID-19 pandemic. It is the infrastructure that was laid on for polio, which was used for Ebola and now for this pandemic. If nothing else, if you remember the vision of our dear past trustee, Sam Owori, President-elect late Sam Owori, his care and compassion for others and his humility and thoughtfulness that will always live with us. I remember his words. He said, "It's through Rotary service within Uganda that I truly experienced the human face of Rotary." Fellow Rotarians of District 9211, Sam's legacy will continue to live on with each project that you embark on. These projects will surely pay a tribute to a man whose life revolved around Rotary, empowering and enabling and the people around him and the community. Lastly, it is through giving that we can socio-economically empower our communities in the entire 6 areas of focus. One important reason to work with the foundation is that your first ever Peace Center in Africa will have a home in Makerere University. This is something really, really big. I'm so proud that it has finally come to Africa and that it is in Uganda. This has come to your country because of your passion, your dedication, your full participation in all matters Rotary. So as I conclude, I'd like for us to revisit that seed story. If you bury that seed under centimeters of dirt, give it enough water, light, fertilizer, the ground underneath will move. It doesn't matter if you sow the seed under a zillion tons of more than the weight of the stone, of the seed, because the seed will push its way out. It really does not matter how much you give, how big or small. True generosity always returns positively. It returns in a positive way to our own lives. Let that $1 save a life. That one seed turn into a forest. That one pebble create that ripple. That small one act of compassion or generosity change the community. So let it be a freckle or a rock. Let us nurture it. Let us water it. Let us grow our foundation, for the rich and delicious fruits of our investment will truly outlive us, and it will protect our people and our future generations. Friends, family of Rotary, thank you very much for welcoming me to District 9211. Thank you.
Wow, what a pleasant and very inspirational presentation. It's an honor for me and a privilege to be asked to be giving a vote of thanks to PDG Jita, who is an inspirational and woman of excellence. You've said it all. If we want to make sure that we have a return of our investments, we need to start by giving even the smallest we have. A dollar counts. Also, we need to give it serious time if we are to ensure that we get a good return of our investments. I cannot thank you enough because we've seen you rise from when you talk about investing, especially in the foundation, we've seen you investing in yourself as a Rotarian, and we've seen you rise from one of the first female governors in the region to an RI trustee. We congratulate you upon that as well. So for us here, I think the opportunity is to really believe in what you say because we've seen you go there, right to the top. And for the future of our foundation, we'll continue to give, we'll continue to invest serious time. And trust me, you say that when you plant a seed, it will come back to you. The district that you gave birth to, 9211, will soon have a multiplier effect to 9213 and 9214. And this is because of your investment. We cannot thank you enough, PDG Jita, for that excellent presentation and delivery. And we hope that you'll see this fruit come to fruition. Thank you very much. And to all the attendees, over 1,000 attendees, I think the lesson has been learned here today. Let's continue to grow our foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much, AG Flavia Serugo from the Rotary Club of Kampala, Nalia. AG Flavia was a world-class president. That is a nomenclature that Flavia and I understand right now. Twazirwanako Flavia. Kajambo. All right, let's proceed. I would like to call upon, we are switching a bit. We want to hear from the younger ones, who we call the Rotaractors. And right now, I would like to call upon the district Rotaractive, Jacob Sendaula, to take us through the next session. Jacob.
Family of Rotary, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you our next Rotaract leader. Now, this gentleman started his journey with the Rotaract Club of Kairoki, where he studied medicine and graduated and moved on to the Rotaract Club of Rafiki. And well, because of his great service and enthusiasm for changing communities, he joined the Rotary Club of Dar es Salaam Peninsula, making him, in the history of our district and Rotaract in this region, the first district Rotaract representative who is a dual member. Now, he has shown that he can use his vocation because he is leading on the front line right now during this pandemic as a medical doctor in Tanzania to treat people and help people go through the effects of COVID-19. So, ladies and gentlemen, ain't we lucky to have such a great gentleman of service? And please, I would like to take this opportunity to ask you to welcome with a round of applause from wherever you are, Rotaractor Edmond Isai, our next district Rotaract representative for District 9211, Tanzania and Uganda.
Awesome. Hello. Welcome to the Visual District Conference and Assembly. Thank you, organizers, for bringing about a nice experience for District 9211. As a district Rotaract representative, Jacob introduced. I'm Edmund Elifada Isai, and I'm membership. I'm part of the Rotary Club of Rafiki, and sponsored by the Rotary Club of the North, and also I'm a charter member of the Rotary Club of Dar es Salaam Peninsula. I have been a Rotaractor for almost 5 years now, and I am excited to be the last district Rotaractor representative for the District 9211. I started my Rotaract journey as soon as I joined university, and I wasn't an interactor back then. But in December 2014, a senior colleague at Herbert Kairuki University had invited me to join a medical camp that was organized by the Rotary Club of Dar es Salaam Oyster Bay. Now, since then, my journey in Rotaract and Rotary began with the Rotary Club of Kairuki. So I served at the club level, I served at a country level, and I even served at the district level. And to this, I'm glad I had this opportunity. And I would like to thank everyone who played part in nurturing me and believing in my abilities for leading the district, and giving me this opportunity to lead my fellow youth for the year 2020-2021. So I'm here to talk about the evolution of Rotaract in my wonderful district, 9211, and into the formation of the two stronger district, 9213 and 9214, by 2021. So Rotaract is the future of Rotary, and developing a strong system of leadership, support, and resources for them is appropriate. And our overall goal is to see Rotaract making transition into Rotary clubs of some kind. For Rotaract and Rotary to attain this goal, there is a need to work side by side to achieve the goal and to get Rotaract where we want it to be. So currently we have around 173 Rotary clubs and approximately 5,213 Rotarian in our district. And also we have around 164 Rotaract clubs and approximately 3,000 Rotaractors. Now, Rotaract in my district today, in my opinion, the strongest it has ever been. The clubs are connected as they can be, and the district works hard every year to make sure that each club is prepared for upcoming Rotary year. So as the district Rotaract representative and the district team, we have worked to help each other and helping clubs develop goals, identifying their strengths in any areas of opportunity, as well as assisting with any Rotary programs that may be confusing, either in the district, zone, or international level. The board has brought clubs together in various ways, and Rotaractors from each club are given an opportunity to meet Rotaractors not in their clubs, but as much as they can through joint programs and multi-district projects. These clubs now have each other's contact, and so that if by any means they want to collaborate together or have a question, they can reach out and talk. And this is exactly the kind of relationships that we want to see forming between clubs, as we want to see them supporting each other and working together without a prompt from the district. We want to develop great connections and overall friendships across the district so that we can continue to grow in strength and in numbers. We also seen growth in many of our clubs, creating a large network of Rotaractors across the district. This helps us to support one another. Now, if we were struggling with member retention, like what's happening in many districts or in Rotary International itself, president and vice presidents can speak at president summits, social conferences, or they can also reach out separately to ask for support or advice. Now, currently, the new board members have managed to reach out to persons who was in their position before, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position before, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to persons who are in their position now, and also reach out to and ask for help in that way, which we find it perfectly, and seeking support. What the district has done now is connecting the club president and board so that the current board members can reach out to each other in the same position and at the same time. So as to gain experience and also build up from where they ended in the outgoing year. So as we see, each year brings about a different situation, opportunities, and lessons. And while the person who led your position may be helpful to someone who is working through similar things at the same time, it might be also be insightful. So this pandemic is a fantastic example. And mind you, I just saying it's a fantastic example. Why? I can guarantee that even though I will be virtually putting on the district Rotary representative chain for 2020-2021, if any person would have reached out asking for advice on how to run a club, will we resume or distanced, I wouldn't have any answer. I would say another club who is currently dealing with this problem would be probably of more helpful. They can bounce ideas off each other and talk through the stress that visual school work or club responsibilities may bring these connections and have led to very strong leadership pipeline. So like what we see this year, we had a district Rotary representative, we have an elect, and we already have 2 nominees. So this shows that when we have the right people next to you, anything is possible. So as we bring Rotaractors together at various events, we also get to see strong leadership, interest in being on the board. Now, when Rotaractors know one another, and some being in the team and other case board, we pick from the usual members, this becomes less overwhelming, and they'll will show interest, and because of the consistent relationships being present and newly being formed between clubs, this helps in the process. So over the last few years, we have a large group of dedicated and motivated Rotaractors who want to keep this momentum going. So how are we going to continue making Rotaract better and stronger for District 9211 for the year 2020-2021? Well, myself and a few others leading Rotaractors in our district, as well as some Rotarians, have been meeting and discussing what we would like to see in the coming year. And what can we do for these 150 plus Rotaract clubs and in strengthening them. So the fact that we shall be redistricting in 2021, we really want to create more clubs through the district, as we have been discussing on both forming new university-based clubs and also community-based clubs. But now we are putting more emphasis on the community-based clubs in order to reach out to those Rotaractors who we lose after graduation, and anyone who is interested that is not currently attending university or might not want to be traveling to distance clubs, to form clubs within their premises. We have also been talking more about the young professions and that are geared towards all being a Rotaractor, and those who are in workforce and who want to join a club of a specific cause. We back in San Diego, I remember we were trained on formation of different models of Rotary Club. During this time, we will get into use so as we can attain these specific goals. It is also important to remember the base of Rotary and the vision, which is to make our communities better in any way that we can. So we wanted to make sure that we set goal to find ways to create bigger and stronger and lasting impactful programs in our community. We all wouldn't want to be part of the organization if we didn't enjoy creating change and helping making it a better place. So while running clubs and getting new members, and we want to stay true to our motto. I have discussed on how Rotaractors we see a Rotary and Rotaract relationship in the district. So some of our clubs have outstanding relationships with their sponsors and others not so much. We hope that the strength of these relationships grow even stronger for those who already have to keep them and also connect other clubs to Rotarians and Rotary clubs in order to help them. But we only want to have sponsoring clubs within our district. I'm looking forward in having Rotaract partnerships even in the district. So this is going to be helpful even for Rotarians and Rotaractors when it comes in asking for advice and service opportunities and fundraisers. So Rotary members, we know that they do have knowledge that Rotaractors don't, and so being able to connect with multiple Rotary and Rotaract clubs could be very helpful, and this is going to also increase partnership with the Rotaract clubs across our district. So hopefully we open up some doors for Rotaractors under the Rotary International. I on how this is going to be, but I do hope that our road trip into RI, elevating Rotaract, is going to be a wonderful experience. And finally, one of our main goals for the year 2020-2021 is transition of Rotaract to Rotary. So we know that there's been lagging of Rotaractors transitioning to Rotary, but now we are going to put an extra power into that, an extra hand, and seeing. Now we need to know that why do these Rotaractors don't join Rotary? So some is because of aging, finances or location, and some even don't have better connections with the Rotary fraternity or Rotaract. So it should be easier for our district to get Rotaractors in contact, involved directly with the Rotaract clubs that fits them best. So last I would like to speak about how District 9211 Rotarians are going to support Rotaractors so as we can achieve our goals. So first, I would love advice, and help with problems when we ask for it. It can sometimes be overwhelming and frustrating having a Rotary club sponsoring or supporting fully a Rotaract club. But we would want you to reach out to the district board, and we can try find ways on how to help, because we believe that we do have resources to help each other. Second, I would like to urge Rotarians that we need you to communicate. Now, communicate with us whenever you have a service program, you have a social program, you have a professional development opportunity. We would love to collaborate with you, learn with you, and get to know you better. Third, I urge you to be flexible. Being flexible and understanding when it comes to Rotaractors, as you all know that we are navigating a new phase of life, and we don't know everything, that sometimes we make mistakes like any other, and we also know that the change can be a little bit overwhelming. So we ask you to be open-minded, and we will too. We shall be open-minded so as we can work together to build a better and a bigger, stronger district. I hope you all will join me in my favorite Rotaractors as we try to achieve these goals. Thank you once again for listening and being here for us. Wonderful.
All right, thank you very much, our DRR-elect, and we'll take a very short break and receive a presentation from Nati Nathan. But DRRE, I would like to inform you that when your picture came on the screen, there was a lot of celebration in the room here. They said that you indeed represent the ideal look of a Rotaractor. So keep the look going. We were happy you gave us that fresh and very pleasant look. Over to you, Nathan.
Hello guys, my name is Nati Nathan. I'm a Ugandan artist, musician, producer, songwriter, and performer. I would like to salute you for all the help you've given people in these trying times, and I would like to congratulate you for the first district online conference. Bless up, I'm formerly a Mr. Interact of Kira College Putiki, Lubidi SS, and St. Balikudembe Mitala Maria. So bless up, I'm loving my job right now because you know it's service about self. Let's go DJ, next tune non-stop. Hey, sound it, hey. Wait, you girl. Hey, listen me now, say, you girl, come here with me, and not in Nathan. You girl, one day, to find you sound it. Girl, tell me what you're drinking, Make me party like a weekend, it's a weekend. Say, tell me what you're drinking, Make me party like a weekend, it's a weekend. Hey. Sele Phantom, na yon palula, tole mugo, na yon savula, sele mochungwa, na yon kamula, onula. Baby girl, you know I say me one come a yard. Zechi sumolozo, when motoka. Me a real man, me a handicap, I the tough one. Girl, tell me what you're drinking, Make me party like a weekend, it's a weekend. Hey. Tell me what you're drinking, Make me party like a Rotary. Let's go. You know bangana. Walked around Africa, tell me la kufanana. Nakupenda sana na you shiny washanana. Wanna give you banana, Dolce and Gabbana. Wanna be your governor. Me mother tongue na bokwasi kugana. Tuwale kufunganya bila kulaba apunama. All over the world, let's go one time. So what's your gahunda? Sija kusale. Hey. Hey. Chikonga konji kwade konji tukeko. Eti. Next tune. All right, Rotary. I go on time. Love me, yeah. And nothing is and love me, yeah. I love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Wine pan time out. You wabikulance. On sakatate. Kulumpukate. Bo madola. Zenta vokate. Nakutele kanze. Kwe pikira. Akandu kavuku guntu. Theory fuka practical. Chibanda jigona jigaluma. My girl, you slap well love me. Waka. Walk to walk, girl. Walk. Come jump off the taxi, love me. Walk. Walk to walk, girl. Tell a girl now. We have a question. Jaga yiga, never quicker. Never will again, Jaga yiga. Agamazina go, Jaga zina. That walk the way you walk. Step the way you stay. That wine the way you wine. As in a go. Walk to walk, girl. Walk. Come jump off the taxi, love me. Walk to walk, girl. Tell them. Omo vili gonga kujakala. Echi wato chonga chidigida. Omo tima gwange gukubagana. Omo suwa gwange na kusiba. Tell your body good for the camera. Snap take a pose for the camera. And your body's of great okalover. Okuwela mochi dongo ya regular. Walk to walk, girl. Come jump off the taxi, love me. Walk to walk, girl. Put it down now. Thank you so much. My name is Nati Nathan. I love you. I'll be joining you very soon. Yeah. There you are.
Wow. Now you know what it means. Now that is a former interactor. I hope that he will trace his roots back in Rotary. My Rotary friends, I'm here to introduce our next leader in our district, Rotary International District 9211, a good friend of mine. She is the deputy head of budget, monitoring, and accountability unit in the Ministry of Finance. She has a wealth of experience spanning over 20 years in governance, private sector, and civil society. Having joined Rotary in 2005, I've continuously monitored this friend of mine, and she has impressed in everything that she has been able to work on in our Rotary service. 2008, she served as a president of the Rotary Club of Mukono. She has gone on to serve our district, our countries, our district being a multi-country district. We create country offices. And indeed, she has been excellent in every position she has served in. She is a Bequest Society member of the Rotary Foundation, Level 2, a Mount Paul Harris Fellow, and a member of the Paul Harris Society. Our incoming leader has indeed served our great district, and we are very proud of her, especially for us from Uganda. She's going to be the first lady to serve at the highest office in Rotary in our district as a district governor. She serves on various boards because she is the president of the African Association of Evaluation, which is based in Ghana. She's a member of the advisory committee of the Center of Learning on Evaluations and Results of Anglophone Countries at Wits University in South Africa, chairperson of the Foundation of Human Rights Initiative in Uganda, and a board member of Bank of India, Uganda Limited. Our incoming leader is a member of laity of Mukono Cathedral, and she's a member of the Global Working Group on Transformation Evaluation and System Thinking. My fellow Rotarians, friends of Rotary, join me as I welcome on stage a good friend of mine, a sister, a mother, and a spiritual leader, our district governor-elect, Rosette Nabumba Nayenga. Very welcome, our governor.
My dear friends, allow me to remove the mask and speak to you because I can't hug you, but at least allow me to speak to you. All protocols have been observed by my governor, so I'll mention a few, but I respect all. Rotary International Vice President, Yinka Babarola, our RIPA, our district governor, all district governors, wherever you are, my special friends, the district governor-elect from different countries, and especially Nigeria, I recognize you. my colleagues from Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, my fellow church leaders, and I know many of you will become Rotarians. The interactors are in the house. So far we hadn't recognized them, but they are with us. I recognize you all. My friends, Rotarians, wherever you are, we are happy to see you. Thank you very much for making time to be with us. On 20th April 2005, I joined Rotary. I was introduced to Rotary by a respectful, compassionate, and responsible person in the names of Edward Lutakome Sentamu, a member of Rotary Club of Mukono. Edward is a friend, is a neighbor, and my mentor. In his modest way, he invited me one evening to a Rotary meeting at Colin Hotel, Mukono, and simply said, "You are invited, and you don't have to stay, and you don't have to join if you don't feel like." The truth is, I was overwhelmed by what I observed at Rotary Club of Mukono. Professional and business persons of integrity discussing nothing about themselves, but everything about helping the less fortunate in our communities. The rest is history. And now I am here, 16 years later, proudly standing before you, among friends and family, as your next district governor for the year 2020-21. My dear friends, every year, the Rotary International President-elect shares a theme that is adopted worldwide to give impetus to Rotary activities. At the International Assembly this year in March, which I attended, and many colleagues attended from around Africa in January, the International President-elect, Hog Nak, shared a very inspiring theme for our year, which is Rotary Opens Opportunities. Very nice theme. It will give us a drive. Fellow opportunity leaders, we are going to serve in challenging times. When the COVID-19 pandemic has and made us distant from one another for the good of our health and safety. The pandemic has led to an increase in poverty, disease, hunger, and domestic violence in our communities. As people of action, we must rise up to the challenges of our times and help our communities to become more resilient in the current time and in the future. During Rotary Year 2020-21, we target for our district to contribute United States dollars 600,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And we shall utilize not less than $4 million in global grants and another $4 million in non-global grants for community projects. We shall implement projects in our 6 areas of focus, and these are fighting disease, saving mothers and children, supporting education, providing clean water, sanitation and hygiene, growing local economies, and promoting peace. We shall implement projects for ending polio, cancer, and malaria. We shall continue to promote blood donation and build capacity for our young people to start their own businesses. We shall also continue to ensure environmental sustainability. My dear friends, for the last 11 years, the foundation has been ranked by the Charity Navigator as a world leader with the highest rating of 4 stars for demonstrating both strong financial health and commitment to accountability and transparency. It is our obligation, my dear leaders, to maintain this ranking, and we will therefore continue to promote zero tolerance to fraud in our district. All gifts, financial or otherwise, shall be used solely for the purpose for which they are donated. All clubs must ensure 100% sustainability of the local and international projects. During 2021, we shall focus on expanding reach of our organization to bring more hands to participate in Rotary programs. We shall continue to open opportunities for young people to network with business leaders. We'll continue to provide incentive in 2 ways to support Rotaractors and young leaders so that they can join Rotary and be engaged. These are the 2 ways. 1, we will continue to provide a waiver of district and country dues for Rotaractors transiting into Rotary on the year of entry. And secondly, we shall put aside district grants for Rotaract clubs to implement projects. We target formation of 10 Rotaract clubs and transitioning at least 100 Rotaractors to Rotary. As part of the strategy to expand our reach, we target a net growth of 600 members. We must end on a good note. We are going to offer leadership opportunities and implement flexible and innovative club models to allow as many people as possible to join us. I know many people are on the fora, and many have asked since this morning, how do I join Rotary? I would ask my colleagues in the chat room, in the question and answer section, please post there, how does one join Rotary and what are the obligations? We shall enhance participant engagement to ensure that every member enjoys Rotary and is happy to stay. Each of our clubs is encouraged to host at least one strategic meeting, preferably before we complete this year, to assess member needs and satisfaction and look at how do we want our clubs to look like 5 years from now. If members wish to change the meeting day, format, or frequency of activities to suit their availability schedules, that's fine. So friends, I have a very special passion to prevent the occurrence of non-communicable diseases in our society, and especially amongst ourselves. We shall promote Rotary, enhance participant engagement, make Rotary fun, attract young leaders, build the public image of Rotary through the fitness and nutrition campaign. We welcome partners that may wish to work with Rotary to promote this program in our district. Our district is due for redistricting. It was formed in 2013-14. Membership in our district has grown exponentially to over 5,000, posing challenges of effective management. Redistricting by 2021 is part of our 5-year strategic plan. The Rotary International Board endorsed district reorganization into 2 districts, one named 9213, and that would be Uganda alone, and then 9214, Uganda and Tanzania. My dear opportunity leaders, we have a privilege and obligation to ensure that these 2 districts are formed. We shall continue to increase our adaptability in all ways to make sure that we record our performance and track it such that by the time we go into the 2 districts, all records are well kept and they can be traceable. As I end my remarks, after successfully implementing the projects and the activities I've outlined, I invite you all to celebrate with me our achievements at the end of Rotary year. In Rotary, we know the day we are going to finish our work. So I invite you to the 96th District Conference and Assembly, and more details will be given to you in the course of this virtual conference. I encourage you all to keep safe and remain blessed for God and my country. Thank you very much.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. We're changing lives through our vision and unwavering commitment to fighting disease and bringing hope to those who need it most. Rotary's progress in polio eradication is an enduring example of our success. Building a global infrastructure and activating a network of volunteers capable of connecting the right people and inspiring action. Leveraging that success and the power of partnership, our global grants provide access to equipment, training, education, and vaccinations to ensure safe births and keeping kids healthy. Rotary Club members unite to create a world where our disease prevention and treatment programs aren't just changing lives, they're saving lives, providing surgeries and health assessments through practical and compassionate treatment. We're educating families and mobilizing communities to treat illnesses and prevent disease, engaging local health workers, and working with partners with expertise in cancer, heart disease, and diabetes care. Your contribution to the Rotary Foundation keeps families connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes across clinics, communities, and continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you. A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross ocean and create equality. As members of Rotary, we...
From that short break, and right here with me is our incoming district governor. Wow, interestingly, a very wonderful lady here. Yes, we do have a few questions that we'd like you to clarify on. We are in this phase of COVID-19, and many people are wondering, what will Rotary look like in District 9211 when the lockdown lifts? What do you see?
Thank you very much, Alina. Rotary will, to me, will look and feel much stronger than what it has been. And I believe that the Rotary family will be doubly committed to our cause. Our vision is together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, in ourselves. Rotary's brand is very strong and has been in existence for more than 105 years. We've had many crisis points in the years, but we have continued going forward. During this time, after the COVID, and during the time we started hearing about COVID, the Rotarians, Rotaractors, came together and were able to collect 1.2 billion Uganda shillings within a space of a month because of that cause. And were able to provide this to the governments of Uganda and Tanzania to look after our communities. So I think if we could do that when we are in the COVID period, what about if we are not in COVID? Rotary has already adapted and will continue being online as well as physical. I believe that Rotary has embarked on the issue of elevating Rotaractors, and therefore Rotary will become young as we move forward. So those are some of the things I see as the future as we move forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You mentioned in your address that we are going into a redistricting. Yes, we have redistricted before, and then we are going into this again. Give us a little bit more feel. What does this look like? Where are we coming from? Where are we heading? For clarity to our viewers out there.
Okay, the district that is being handed to us this coming Rotary year started on 1st July 2013. And it started with a governor then who was Emmanuel Katongole, and he did very well. The district was handed over by our Nalongo, Jita Manek. Very lovely and professional. We all learnt a lot from her. At the time when we were given the district, we had over 4,000 members in 179 clubs. And the idea was that it was no longer feasible to manage a district which has 5 countries then. So District 9211 took 60% of what was in the other district, 9200. What has made our district so strong is the committed and the good brand of leaders we've had over the years. To date, I'll be the 8th governor and the ending governor for District 9211. And just to mention, we must give credit to the leaders that have brought us where we are, because we wouldn't be here. For instance, if we didn't have past district governor Emmanuel Katongole in 2013-14, followed by past governor Harish Bat in 2014-15, and then followed by Governor Robert Wagwan Sivirwa in 2015-16. We moved on to Governor Jayesh in 2016-17, and 2017-18 we had past district governor Ken Mugisha. 2018 was a landmark. We had our first female governor for District 9211, past district governor Shamila Bat, and now Governor Xavier, who is sitting on our chair. 8 in all. We shall redistrict on 1st July and form the 2 new districts. We have already started on the process under the guidance of Governor Xavier to prepare the key policies and instruments for making sure we have the 2 districts in place. And the governors who are going to take mantle are already in place, and they will be introduced to you as we go along. The rest will be handled by these 2 governors who will come forward once we form the 2 districts. So that is how the district is.
Thank you very much. There is a comment I want to read to you here from the Vice President of Rotary International, Yinka Babalola. You talked of Nalongo and you reminded me that we had this comment. He says, "Behold the last governor of District 9211. I guess that makes her a Nalongo also. Congratulations to the leadership, current and past, and the entire Rotarians of district results that got us to these new opportunities."
Thank
Vice
you very
President,
much.
we appreciate that. But coming
you.
back to you, again, you mentioned in your speech, I'm wondering if this is going to be your flagship program. You talked of the fitness and nutrition campaign. How will this be rolled out?
Okay, first of all, just for clarity, when we are implementing the programs, we will first make sure the goals we have set for our district under the 4 areas of the new strategic plan are met. And on top of that, to spice up things, we shall have the fitness and nutrition program. Here, we are focusing on non-communicable diseases, which are on the increase in Africa. And we're talking about diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cardiovascular diseases, and some cancers. For example, 24% of women and 9% of men in Uganda are obese and overweight. I'm sure the obese ones didn't turn up at this meeting or are not on the fora. They are somewhere, but they're among us. So we have a high rate of mortality due to NCDs. And this is worrying because even when you look at the Rotarians, we are dying, and yet we need to give service. We are busy bringing new people giving. So I would like to emphasize a program that focuses on 2 areas of focus of Rotary. 1, preventing disease, and then emphasizing water, sanitation, and hygiene. And the goals will be to promote health and wellness. We must have a happier, beautiful fraternity. We must have increased awareness about disease and how you can promote good practices of health. And as we do all that, we shall promote the good brand of Rotary, and hopefully we'll get members. So in terms of rollout, we have appointed a committee led by past Assistant Governor Mebra Rawai in Machindi and Rotarian Minor. We have also appointed focal point persons in each of the clubs, and we shall make sure promotional materials are available, which we shall produce with Ministry of Health in this country, and as well as in Tanzania. The fund will be launched on 4th July 2020. We shall give you more details. And we shall continue coming to the community and making everyone dance a little bit, enjoy, have fun. Let's serve, but have fun and engage and bring more members to Rotary.
Well said. Our time is almost up, but I feel I will have cheated a certain section of the audience if I do not put this question to you. Rotary in Uganda is over 60 years, and we see you now as the very first female governor-elect from our country. What is your message to ladies out there? What is your secret? What do we need to do? Speak to this. Speak to this fact.
Thank you very much. When we are leading in Rotary, it's not about a man or a woman. It's about leadership and developing the qualities of a leader who can do anything, anywhere, irrespective of whether they are men or women. That's very important. But having said that, in the committee I'm going to work with this year, 60% are women, to make sure that we promote them. Just have the right mood, have the right, communicate. Make sure that you listen. Make sure that you bring the female characteristics of empathy on the table, and following up programs keenly, listening and all that. So we can have a chat on that, one-to-one, with anyone who wants to know how it all came about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our DGE. We shall leave it at that, and please feel free to get in touch with her. She runs an open door policy. You realize that we are now in the future. I now hand over to my colleague, the District Rotaract representative, Jacob Sendaula.
Family of Rotary, as you know well, starting 1st July 2021, we shall be split into 2 new districts. And these 2 districts will require leadership to steer us into the new era. As Rotaract, we went ahead to select who people I believe are the best to lead our district, because all these people were nominated by their clubs and seconded by clubs from our district and presented in front of the nominating committee, where they had an interview session and after a voting process was carried out. And for District 9213, which will be half of Uganda, could we have had a better person to pioneer the leadership of this district? We have in him a past president of 3 eras, a past president of Interact and Rotaract at the same time. He has been in an institution-based club and has moved on to the Rotaract Club of Kampala Central, where he is an active member. But his experience in district leadership is also a lot, and we are very proud and confident that he will lead our district 9 to 13 into glory. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome a married young man and creative director of Lantern Media, a wonderful printing company that will lead our district moving forward, starting 1st July 2021. I give you Alan Tambirukoda of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central.
It is indeed an honor for me to have been nominated as the DRN for District 9213. And I want to thank you, friends, and our leaders for the words of encouragement and the congratulations you sent my way. It made me understand and at the same time challenged by the kind of office I am stepping in. As the DRN for District 9213, it comes both with opportunities and challenges, being the first leader of the district. But the challenge is a good challenge that we have the opportunity to create the kind of district, the kind of organization we need, the kind of systems we need for our district to be a big and better district. I honestly believe that I and my fellow Rotaractors are going to create the future for ourselves and for the coming generations. Our dear leaders and my predecessors, this is the time for us to come and join hands and create the district we want. Challenges are not so much of my worry because yes, I have so many predecessors that have been there. Certainly we are going to walk and we are going to run the race together. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I want to thank you because you are going to walk the journey with me. Thank you. Thank you. Let's create opportunities. And let's open the opportunities. Have a great day.
And for District 9214, which will be composed of part of Uganda and the whole of Tanzania, we have a gentleman who has served at club and district over the years. His membership has spanned in 2 clubs, Nansana and his current club, the Rotary Club of Mengo. And in his personal life, he has been able to take his foot forward in the arena of IT and works for Galaxy FM. And when you remember that click you made when you were registering and paying for the district conference and assembly, then you might want to know that all that was made possible by Jengo. Therefore, it is my honor to introduce a founding partner of this company and leader of District 9214, starting 1st July 2021, Rotaractor Noah Nyabwana Akiki of the Rotary Club of Bengo. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our DRR 9214, come 2021.
Fellow Rotaractors, I am indeed elated to be serving District 9214 as DRR for the Rotary year 2021-2022. This wouldn't have come at a better time than now when District 9211 is splitting into 2 new districts, which gives us an opportunity as Rotaractors and leaders of today to set pace for the new district for the years to come. As you all know, Rotaract has got 5 goals which enable us, the youth, to be modeled into leaders and change makers of tomorrow. It is on this premise that I implore all of you in your clubs to develop systems and programs that will enable your members to grow into leaders of tomorrow. What I mean is develop your members through the fellowships that you have. Let them be able to develop leadership and professional skills. Help them to appreciate contributions of all people in this world. Whatever job it is, let all your members learn to appreciate contribution of everyone in the betterment of this world. Teach them to uplift the communities in which they live in a way of achieving the third goal of Rotaract. Teach them to work with generations older than us so that we can learn to have continuity in the way our world is run. With those few words, I would like to formally accept the election as DRR of D9211, and I would like to make this promise to you that I'll serve the district to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Well said indeed from our Rotaractors, from that other wing, that very powerful and very energetic wing of Rotary. Another reminder that 400,000 from Rock Telecom is up for grabs. Keep online, keep engaging. We are almost there. We are almost announcing our winners. And Rock Telecom says they'll come and have this properly installed in your home and also allow you a 1 month internet. That will go to the grand winner. Then other 10 people will also win gift hampers from 3 sponsors, that is Centenary Bank, Rock Telecom again, and Uganda Breweries Limited. After this DCA, we are going to the 96th, and I take this opportunity to invite the chair of the 96th District Conference and Assembly, that is beloved Jane Kabugo. Jane, come tell us.
Rotaractors, interactors, guests, and friends of Rotary. My name is Jane Kabugo from the Rotary Club of Sunrise, Kampala, and I'm here to talk about the 96th DCA. I would like to request the Director of Programs to play a small video clip for us that will unveil the District Conference and Assembly, the 96th one logo. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the 96th DCA. A number of people have been asking me questions, and these questions are mainly around whether we shall have a DCA come 2021, and what shall we be celebrating come 2021. And my answer to these questions is mainly around the fact that during the past 2 months, I've learned something about Rotarians and Rotary in our district. What I have learned is that Rotarians are resilient, not only in our district, but across the globe. I have learned that Rotarians are able to adapt and adapt quickly. During these past 2 months, we have been connecting like never before in our district. We have been engaging the youth and connecting with the youth more than ever. Rotary Clubs have been growing membership in this period of a COVID pandemic and a lockdown. Not only have they been growing membership, but they have been extending membership. And a number of Rotary Clubs and Rotarians indeed have given money to the Rotary Foundation during this pandemic, on top of raising money for the fight against the pandemic. A number of projects have been implemented. So it is my belief that we shall have a DCA, and we shall have plenty to celebrate this DCA. Just as the bee sees opportunity in an opening flower, we have turned this challenge into an opportunity, and we shall have cause to celebrate. I want to welcome you all to the 96th DCA that will take place at Speak Resort Munyonyo starting from the 21st to the 24th of April 2021. This DCA is going to be unique, not because it is coming after a pandemic, no. This DCA is going to be the last DCA for District 9211. Come and be part of a farewell celebration to District 9211 as we mark the end of an era. And we usher in the two new districts, District 9213 and District 9214, marking the beginning of a new dawn. This DCA, we have planned and are planning a very rich program. We would like members attending the DCA to be part of the organization. For the first time, we are going to give people a choice to decide what they participate in, what they attend. And on this note, I would like to inform members that a questionnaire is on its way to you. And please do take time and respond to it, because it will give us a feel and a sense of what you want to experience at this very unique DCA. We have planned great theme nights, and I would like you not to miss any of this fun. Come and play with us, with everyone at the Vegas night, your guest at the Roses night. Enjoy and taste nyama choma. I've tasted it before at the carnival night. And please, for the crowning glory, experience the glamour, the majestic pearl of the night, DCA, DG's banquet night that we shall have as the crowning glory of this DCA. I would like to let you know now that registration is currently open as I speak now. Be the first to register online and be able to pay online at a very early bird fee of $150. This fee will be available to everyone up till 30th June 20. Thereafter, the normal early bird fee will be $200. The late registration will be $250. So I urge you, fellow friends, Rotary, please register early so that you can save the $50, the $100 to go to the Rotary Foundation, for example, or towards DCA. And I would like to declare the 96 DCA launched today, at this time, at this moment, and the registration, mobilization, and all activities to be open to all of us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the district governor of the District 9211, district governor-elect, the district governor nominee, district governor nominee designate, all the past district governors, the chairman of the organizing committee of this fellow Rotarians, all partners, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to bring to you warm greetings from Centenary Bank, our bank. It is my pleasure today to be joining you in this first ever online district conference. We are in unusual times, and it is usually the unusual companies that will survive. And I wish to salute the Rotary fraternity in this district for organizing this conference in this unusual way. For the last 8 years at Centenary Bank, we've been enjoying very good relationship with the Rotary fraternity in this district, And we've been doing quite a number of things, among which has been the bridging the cancer gap, whereby we've been involved in very many activities, including cancer runs, parades, family health days, from which some of the contributions or proceeds have gone a long way to directly support currently about 600 people and indirectly millions of other people. Today, we are in this conference as a guest chair that it's not only us who are directly partnering with Rotary that we will get support to support communities. I would like to urge everybody who can support to come along and support communities because they deserve our support. We are in this COVID pandemic, and that's why we are attending an online district conference. And at Centenary Bank, we are doing a number of things, and I would want to urge all of you who would want to get involved in financial services provision to use online platforms. You can use our Center Visa cards. You can use your telephones to do transactions on our mobile platform. I want to urge you to keep safe, wash your hands, do social distancing as instructed by the authorities. We believe we are in all this together and we should be able to win this war. Once again, I want to salute the Rotary fraternity in this district and everybody who has been engaged in organizing this. This is a true gesture or indication of support and commitment to the communities where we operate. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I know it has been a fairly long day and we are getting to the end of our exciting program. I've been asked to talk about redistricting in District 9211, the myths and the opportunities. I'll go about this in a somewhat roundabout way and hope that I'll still communicate meaning. Let us start by talking about embracing change, because at the end of the day, this is really what this is about. We talk about the word normal. Now, the word normal comes from the Latin word normalis, which described something made with a carpenter's square. I don't know if you can see this. So that the angles and everything which is set up utilizing that conforms to a clear and general pattern. And therefore, the current meaning of the word normal means fitting in a pattern or standard or average. Now, I pose the question you may want to answer for yourself. Are you average? That is a label I've rejected all my life. I strive to be abnormal, or if you like, extraordinary. And I hope that you too, as the family of Rotary, consider yourselves extraordinary. I have gone through redistricting twice in my Rotary life. And I know my seniors like PDG Ami, Nelson, and PDG Henry have gone through this even more. And thinking back, ask myself, did they really affect me negatively? Or for that matter, did it make Rotary worse? The answer is no. I was going to expand on that, but our RIPP Arab Breen did that excellently this morning. We know that such changes have been positive for us. Now, personally, I have always thrived on change. And I have over time learned to be open-minded and welcoming to new ideas. Indeed, I like being the originator of new ideas. This is why I get taken aback nowadays when everyone talks about the new normal due to COVID-19. In my book, normal is always in a state of change. I cannot talk about a new normal because I don't have a normal in life. Life is a constant evolution, sometimes a revolution. Why then we believe in the word normal, especially when we relate this to Rotary and our district? And this is because we as human beings are wired by experience and habit. We weigh all new things through the lens of our past experience. We are in a comfort zone. We are boxed, and the box becomes home. The past, therefore, always looks glamorous when viewed through the binoculars of time. This is why people think about the good old days. The good old days never existed, colleagues. They just dim with the time, and all of a sudden, because we are looking backwards, we think that the past was better than what we have now. We mistake habit and common practice for values, and that gives us a false foundation for reason. We even resist new knowledge because it conflicts with our beliefs. And therefore, this becomes both a personal and Rotary challenge that if we want to change, we must understand our intrinsic nature. We are wired to resist change. And visionaries are those people able to shatter the lens of their past experience, to look forward with new excitement to new possibilities. Human beings respond to change in various ways. The commonness is actually denial. It cannot happen. It cannot be happening. It should not have happened. Now, in my part of the world, and I believe in Uganda, there's a worm which is called Ndiwulira. Ndiwulira loves maize, and you find it looking like a worm in a boiled cob of maize or a roast cob of maize. And the story is that Ndiwulira was told before the harvest, please get out of the maize. And Ndiwulira said, Ndiwulira meaning out here when they're harvesting. And harvesting went ahead. And then they said, Ndiwulira, get out of the maize. And Ndiwulira said, I will hear when they're preparing the maize for cooking. And of course, finally, by the time when Ndiwulira woke up, if that makes sense, Ndiwulira was dead because they had been boiled along with the maize. And denial is about that state of life that we sail along and are destroyed by change because we are not willing to change. Then the next phase is resistance, both passive and active. We find every reason why we should not change. The fourth, third stage rather is acceptance, which can be passive, simply flowing with the river, or active, managing the flow of the river. What we need to be as Rotarians is proactive so that we can anticipate and prepare for change. Better still, we should trigger and drive change, because the way to survive in the world is not to wait for change to happen, but cause change to happen so that you can then understand it better and you can therefore shape it better. And this is about our district. And therefore, talking to many Rotarians, I've seen an overwhelming tendency to look at our redistricting in a negative sense, rather than with the excitement of new opportunities. So the question is, how is your club facing the future of our district in a year's time? Is your club looking backwards at the good old days and therefore moving into the future backwards, trying to fight change all the way, throwing all possible barriers in the path? Is your club just sailing along, surrendering yourself to circumstances as if you don't have any animate sense of decision? Is your club right now discussing the new opportunities this presents and how to seize them? Has any club actually formulated plans for that, saying that, oh yes, this is going to happen and this is how we are going to see this opportunity and really create a difference for Rotary? Is your club one of the leaders creating and seizing the new opportunities and possibilities that redistricting is going to bring us? Are you indeed one of those clubs that are already looking at the upcoming redistricting as history, planning to shape the future of Rotary in our region? Ladies and gentlemen, let's not get lost in myths. Let us rather seize the opportunities. After 30th June 2021, let us not talk about the good old days. Let us focusing on constructing even better new days. Let us not strive for linkages to the past. There's demand, for example, as always. Are we going to have joint district conferences and other events? This might happen, yes, but if these are to happen, let it be because they are going to add value rather than being a link to a past long gone. I reject living in the past. The question indeed arises, do we need district conferences now held, or can we think of better approaches of delivering even better value? Let us see what is happening right now to this very conference, taken to a different level. And we can take that even higher because this is an eye-opener that we sometimes dwell too much on the way we do things, and in so doing, we miss new opportunities. There's a word among some clubs about which district they are going to belong to. Now think again, what is a district? An imaginary boundary between clubs that changes from time to time. Does an imaginary line along a latitude, which is another imaginary line by the way, constrain what you do in any way? Or does it open up exciting new possibilities? Imagine, friends, if you are in District 9213 and your girlfriend is in District 9214, are you going to break up because there's a new district? That is simply illustrative that our relationships are not destroyed because a new district is being created. Boundaries cannot stop us. This is then what I would like to reference, that in life, we focus a lot on form. And that's what we do and what we are, rather than why we are and why we do everything that we do. What is our why as Rotarians? Our incoming governors just our wonderful vision that together we see a world where people unite and create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Our clubs, our districts, our zones, these are all forms, and they are going to evolve and assume new forms. All these forms are simply a step to what we want to achieve. We grow clubs or districts because we want to grow Rotary and therefore service so that we can achieve our end. Our end is not clubs and districts. It's the well-being and happiness of our communities. That, my friends, is what should excite us and give us energy as we move into our new districts. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, PDG Tusu, on that wonderful presentation on the opportunities and myth. We are almost closing, and we have our winners for the day. I'll go through them very quickly. First of all, to thank our 980 people who have been following these proceedings across our different platforms. Thank you very much. You have been a wonderful audience. Okay, here are the winners. I'll read the name and the Rotary Club. Rotarian Yvonne from the Rotary Club of Mount Meru. These are going to get our gift hampers from the 3 companies I told you about earlier. We have P.E. Margaret Chihunde from Arua Eco City, Uganda. We have Rotarian Jacent Lubega from the Rotary Ntinda Metro Club. Rotarian Dennis Ratoro from the Rotary Club of Masindi. Bavesh from the Rotary Club of Da Oyster Bay, thank you. And then the Rotaractors, Rotaractor Mackenzie from the Rotaract Club of Kampala South, Rotaractor Athia Ankunda from the Rotaract Club of Mbarara, Rotaractor Sebastian Alioni, Rotaract Club of Arua, thank you for tuning in also. Rotaractor Simon Okwi from the Rotaract Club of Weyogere, and finally, Rotaractor Nelson Nshekanabo from the Rotaract Club of Victoria Naya. We congratulate those 10 winners, and our overall winner, who gets the Rock Telecom, the one top gift, the 400,000 installation, is a very special case. His name is Mokwaya G. Ernest. He's from the Rotaract Club of Makindye West. What makes him special is that throughout this conference, he was attending while farming, and we got him off Twitter. You see the image on the screen. That was very inspiring. Wow, look at him. I wonder where the phone was, whatever the case. Thank you very much, and we congratulate you. I now invite the district governor-elect, Rosette Nabumba, who will take us through the very last bit, a summing and call to action. The conference continues tomorrow, a little earlier at 9 a.m. And DGE is coming up next. Thank you for following these proceedings, and it's been great, really great. Okay.
My dear friends, we have had a very wonderful day today, and it's just day one of 2 special days. This is a moment to call all of you and myself to action. First of all, let's keep safe. We cannot serve if we are not alive. So I encourage each of us to observe the guidelines as issued by our governments, respective governments, wherever we are. It's the time for transitioning out for the team by our district governor, Xavier Sentamu, and the time for transitioning in for the team I will serve with. I therefore encourage all the presidents I'm going to serve with to start getting on your marks. We are about to go. We have finished the trainings. Everybody is trained. We have finished the preparations, the work plans. We have put the goals in Rotary Club Central. We must make sure that the systems of Rotary are working, and we must observe our new strategic plan. Rotary programs are continuous. It's important that all the incoming leaders learn from the outgoing leaders so that we just pick up the relay and continue. We welcome all the members who are on the platform who are not Rotarians to continue and come tomorrow and be with us. And we hope that you are going to become a Rotarian. I invite you again to the district conference and assembly in next year, as has been presented by our chair, Jane Kabugo. I thank you all for attending, and tomorrow we will resume from this point. Thank you very much to the organizers, our teams behind scenes of the events warehouse, the media, and all people involved in organization of this conference. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you very much.
I'm the Managing Director of Centenary Bank. And of course, as I head of one of the biggest financial institution, which serves over 2 million Ugandans, which has a staff capacity of almost 3,000 people, I'm faced with the big challenge of ensuring that amidst all the challenges we have of this pandemic, the institution continues to operate, to serve, those clients that I've talked about, but also to ensure that not only do we serve them, but they are safe, and also to ensure that we protect their businesses, but at the same time ensuring that the staff that we manage keep safe, first of all, but also, of course, we know there are restrictions of movement to ensure that they are moved to where they are supposed to be to serve our clients. So it's quite a big challenge of ensuring that we keep in contact with them, challenge of ensuring that we communicate to them for them to know and get guided to move. All those are challenges. However, as I go through those challenges, I think it is important that we also look at the opportunities that come along with those challenges. We've learned that there could be better ways of communicating. I'm learning that there could be better ways of serving our clients. We've already noted that almost a third of all our transactions now are going through use of telephones, mobile banking, a thing that we probably have been struggling to sell to our clients. So we are trying to advantage at the same time as we go through the challenges. And we've told everybody that I, as the head, but with the entire team, we are in this together to ensure that we ensure continuity of business of the bank, but at the same time, our staff are safe and our clients are safe and their businesses are able to continue. So those are the challenges that we are going through, and we believe, we should be, with the resilience that we have, should be able to go through them.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. Our vision and commitment to finding solutions provides access to high-quality care so vulnerable mothers and children can live longer and grow stronger. Rotary members worldwide work to improve maternal health and reduce child mortality by increasing access to essential medical services and implementing life-saving programs. We're providing comprehensive maternal care, preventative screenings, and family planning that empower women and girls to take charge of their own destinies. Our efforts aren't just changing lives, they're saving lives and strengthening families by training birth attendants, providing prenatal care, newborn immunizations, and facilitating mobile health clinics. Thanks to Rotarians like you, patients are receiving the practical and compassionate treatment they deserve, so that babies are born safely into the arms of healthy mothers. Your contribution keeps mothers and babies far and wide connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes in delivery rooms, communities, and across continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you